Game On, weeknights from 6
on 2FM.
And a very good evening from Damien O'Mara. You're most welcome to the Aviva Stadium for coverage of the Republic of Ireland against Netherlands in this Euro 2024 qualifier. Kick-off coming up here at 7:45. I'm in the company of Pat Fenlon and Keith Tracy to build up to the game. Commentary to come in a couple of moments' time from Kenny Cunningham and our match commentator Adrian Eames. Let's get a check-in on the two teams as they will line out. Adrian, good evening.
Good evening, Damien. He has two changes for Ireland. Matt Doherty has paid his dues. He's back from suspension. He'll operate as a right wing back, and James McLean comes in as he did in Paris for Enda Stevens, who's out through injury, and of course will play a similar role to Doherty, but of course on Ireland's left hand side. It means that Alan Brown pushes up to a midfield station alongside Josh Cullen, with Jason Malumbi dropping out of the 11. It was a pretty exhausting evening for the Irish in Paris. So less so really though for the Dutch, because they had victory secured by half-time in Eindhoven against Greece. Three changes made tonight by Ronald Koeman, their manager, back for his second stint in charge. Matthias de Ligt comes in for the injured Luciano Truda. Mats Weber of Feyenoord didn't feature against the Greeks in that 3-0 win on Thursday, but he replaces Martin de Roon in the middle, and despite scoring, Wout Weghorst drops out of the 11 as Koeman offs to the pace of Daniel Mallon, who was an unused sub on Thursday night. Shane Duffy, by the way, captains Ireland this evening, Damien.
Thank you very much to Adrian Eames. We'll be rejoining Adrian and Kenny for commentary on the game in a couple of minutes' time. Keith Tracy, it was always inevitable with the double header against two of the top 7 teams in the world that there would be changes. Matt Doherty was always an obvious one to come back in. Is it surprising with the attacking threat of the Dutch that it's James McLean is on the other wing back position?
Yeah, Damien, I do think it's a little bit surprising. James McLean has a lot of attributes. I don't think 1v1 defending is exactly one of his best ones, and look, Enda Stevens didn't have a great day against the French. Dembele's a world-class winger. He turned Enda Stevens inside out, so McLean's got the nod today. I have to be honest, I'd love to see Ryan Manning there. I think he was brilliant in the championship last season. He was doing okay this season, and he's obviously playing at a much higher level than James McLean, but James has tried and trusted over 100 caps, and to be honest, he's never really let Ireland down. So although there is a question mark over that selection, you can fully understand why Stephen Kenny has done it in such a big game. Yeah,
Pat, it goes beyond football in some ways, in terms of we need big figures, we need big characters, we need players that are going to set the tone tonight if we're going to get this energy that Stephen Kenny repeatedly talks about us needing here at the Aviva tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's crucial to the game. We started the game in France, we thought quite well. We were on the front foot early on, and it can't be any different tonight. We've got to really be in the face of the Dutch players at times. Go and try upset them. Don't let them get into that rhythm. We know they're technically really good, but if you let them get into that rhythm, then it can hurt you. So I think the tempo of the game is massive. The one concern for me, looking at both sides, and again that change up front for them, they brought pace into that. Would have probably preferred Weghorst starting the game. Holland is obviously much quicker, can play as a wide player, with Capco and Siemens playing in behind him. Again, a bit like France as well, we were concerned about some of that pace that they had, and it's a bit similar to the Dutch. But we just got to get about it. We've got to set a tempo.
But on that, you look at the likelihood of Brown and Cullen playing in the centre of midfield together, or maybe a combination of Cullen, Brown and Knight playing across the 3. Could we have done with a little bit of bite in there, like someone like Will Smallbone maybe? Listen, the options are rarely restricted in terms of who he could have brought in.
I think that position is so important for us. I'd like to see Cullen just given a specific role on the 1 and just say, sit in front of our back 3, protect that area, play between the 18-yard lines, don't go out there, just give us that protection with Brown and Knight ahead of him, going and getting a ratting about, getting the ball back. What they do quite well, both of them, is they get forward quite well as well, so Cullen's got to be in that protective mode. You would think McLean and Doherty on it will get a little bit of joy maybe in wide areas, which I thought we turned down the pass too many times against France. That ball was on to get our wide players on the ball a little bit quicker. But I'd like to see Cullen just have that specific role of being a 6, just play there and give us that little bit of protection.
One of the issues, Keith, after the game on Thursday night was, unprompted, a sequence of players and the manager came out and talked about, okay, we've been beaten by France, they're number 2 in the world, this week has always been about building for Sunday. That might well be the case, but it creates a pressure and a focus on you tonight if results don't go your way.
Yeah, it does, but look, the players aren't stupid. They know exactly what's on the line tonight. They really do. So look, they just have to work hard. And one thing we're talking about off air is we do feel, although this Dutch team has an awful lot of class in it, you feel that they are rattleable. You can get after them, you can make them feel really, really uncomfortable, and that's what we need to bring. We need to bring the energy. I don't think anybody's expecting us to set up here and try and pass Holland off the pitch, because I think that's I think we've tried to do that against the bigger nations and we've always come up short, although once or twice we've had fighting losses. So today we don't want any excuses, we don't want any sort of spinning of the stats after. What we need is just a win. By hook or by crook, we need to win this game of football.
Yeah, and the one thing I think is important to keep there as well, we need to see how Beignet play higher up the pitch for Edad and go and put them under a little bit of pressure. If Beignet is quick, you know, the back three for the Netherlands are good players, they're all good players. Van Dijk has a mistake in him, so is Ake, you know, so but we can't have him as deep as we understood why he was so deep, trying to give us a hand to deal with Mbappe in France. We've got to be higher up the pitch this time, get closer to Edad and go and play to his strengths. Go and play in behind sometimes for him, let him go and run in behind and cause teams problems.
Okay, we've much more to come from the lads. 7:45 kickoff here at Aviva Stadium. The other big story over the last half an hour or so, Sweden's Vincent Norman winning the Horizon Irish Open, a closing 7 under par round of 65, taking him to 14 under par. He finished one shot clear of Germany's Hurley Long. Of the Irish, Shane Lowry, the highest Irish finisher, he shot a 4 under par 68 today to finish back on 12 under. The wheels fell off the wagon somewhat for Rory McIlroy, a 2 over par 74 today. He finished back on 9 under. Mark Power 33rd place, 7 under. Tom McKibben 6 under. Conor Purcell 1 under. Padraig Harrington finished level par. We're live from the Aviva Stadium. Kickoff 9 minutes away between the Republic of Ireland and Netherlands. Quick break to take. Back shortly. And you're very welcome back to Aviva Stadium. Both teams just coming out onto the field of play. Keith Tracy, Pat Fenlon alongside me. Keith, part of the challenge tonight is we look at the Dutch against Greece the other night, completely changed their formation, completely changed their approach. To an extent, is there a surprise element potentially about Holland tonight in terms of how they'll set up?
Not particularly. I don't think we'll be too surprised. They do move in and out of formations pretty slickly, but I'm sure Stephen Kenny has flagged what formations they will go in and out of. But what I want to see from us, Damien, I thought we did compete really well against the French, and look, nobody's going to sit here and berate the team for losing against the French. They're really, really good, but what I want to see less of, I don't want to see any backwards passes, I don't want to see sideward passes. I just want to see balls into the channel, put the Dutch under pressure and just see how much they want to defend.
Yeah, Ulfron O'Hara and Michael D. Higgins been introduced to the crowd here. Pat, we need to get rid of a lot of the sloppiness. We need to try and eradicate all of these mistakes that have been our undoing. This whole cliche around goals from distance, goals early in the second half, they need to be switched on for the 90 plus minutes.
Absolutely, and we want, it's sort of an organised chaos is what we want. We want the crowd involved, and it has been since they started filling into the game, but we need to be in control in that ourselves, in that chaos. We need to be in control at the moment you're talking about. Don't give away sloppy goals, don't let people shots away from distance, you know, use the ball well. I think the one how well we defended and worked away in France, we gave the ball away too easy at times under no pressure and didn't pick the proper pass. That's got to improve.
Yeah, and like it's just that thing of like that shouldn't happen at this level with a team that have worked together under this manager for so long.
Yeah, but again, you go down to the personnel available, and if we're going to try to play this way, we have to have the tools available to do that. And largely from what I've seen, you know, we are getting better, we are taking those steps into becoming a sexier football team, but against the bigger nations, the Dutch have been doing this for years and years and years, and we're playing catch up at that game. So I do think there's an avenue where we can beat the Dutch, but I don't think it's trying to play sexy football.
This manager and this group needs a marker, needs a really significant win. A 36th game for Stephen Kenny tonight in charge of the Republic of Ireland. He's only won 10. He needs a scalp. He needs a famous Lansdowne Road night. Yeah,
the last time I came away from Lansdowne Road being impressed with Ireland was probably the Scottish game when we beat Scotland 3-0. And look, Scotland were actually very poor on the night, but I give credit an awful lot of I give Ireland an awful lot of credit for that. We just need a really high intensity. We need to unsettle the Dutch and just do not let them get into a passing rhythm.
And even going back to that, you go back to that game where we beat Scotland, beat them well here. If you look where they are now to where we are now, it's night and day. And coming off the pitch, you'd have thought Scotland are in trouble. Looking at that performance, but they've got really good players. So listen, they only came back off getting knocked out of Euros by the Ukraine as well. It was a real blow for them. So I wouldn't read too much into it. But we haven't improved. We haven't built on that performance.
How confident are you? Like what would be success tonight? See, the problem is when you have this thing, when you have players coming out and the manager coming out and saying all of this week has always been about Sunday, it starts to build up the expectation level.
Yeah, it is, and they know that today is, you know, is one of them do or die days. We got to go and get results. And whatever way we get the results, I don't care whether we play brilliant football or we scrap a 1-0 win. It's about getting 3 points on the board if we can. I'm enthusiastic. I'm looking forward to the game. Yeah. But I've been here before. I've been let down too many times. So you're I think the Dutch team, they've got good players, but I think they've got a little bit mistaken. They've got that cockiness as well. If you get about them a little bit early, see what they're made of.
Set the tone. Okay, moments away from kick-off here. Let's check in on the national anthems. We're going to begin with the Dutch national anthem. National anthem in the world. Time now for Lisa Lamb to raise the roof in the Aviva with her on Naveen. Before we pass the commentary, we have the atmosphere without a shadow of a doubt. We're hoping for the performance. We need to be realistic though. This is the 7th best team in the world.
Yeah, I think we do need to be realistic, Damon. And you look all over the pitch, there is a little bit of a gulf in the teams. Just for instance, Brown and Cullen are playing in the middle for us, Preston and Burnley in the middle for the Dutch. It's De Jong and Weaver who are Barcelona and Feyenoord. So look, we're up against it. I don't want to completely write us off. I think we will give a decent performance, a fighting performance. But I'm leaning towards the Dutch name, and I have to be honest.
It's a sensible approach, Pat.
It is a sensible approach, but even if it's as good as the national anthem, that was one of the best ones I've heard for a while.
Yeah.
The whole stadium was buzzing with that. It was brilliant. Listen, we have to be realistic, but optimistic as well. We need to see a performance. Yeah. We need a performance tonight, and we need a win or a really battling performance to take a point. Because otherwise, it's going to be the same old talk after the game.
A massive Dutch crowd in town as well, which will play a role in the game today. So we've had all the build-up. We have the Aviva Stadium bouncing. It's time for the players now to maintain that over the course of the opening 45 minutes. The Republic of Ireland against Netherlands, described for us now by Kenny Cunningham. And first, good evening again to Adrian Eames.
And in the centre of the pitch, Shane Duffy, the Irish captain, shakes hands with Virgil van Dijk. It's the Republic of Ireland against the Dutch. Down through the years, there have been so many celebrated matches between these two nations, and as you mentioned there, Damien, huge contingent of Dutch supporters. That's certainly adding to the atmosphere, and credit must go to the PA people here, because they've been cranking up the atmosphere for the last hour or so inside the Aviva Stadium. Not every seat is taken up just yet, but it's pretty full at the moment. A sellout at the Aviva Stadium for the visit of the Netherlands, all in orange this evening. They're inside the centre circle at the moment. Both teams will line up. We will have a minute's applause before a kick-off in memory of so many people, several people sadly who passed away in recent times. But it really is a magnificent occasion, and the atmosphere is absolutely crackling. Also before kick-off, those who tragically lost their lives in Morocco are being remembered here, along with several of those connected with the FEI football community who sadly passed away since the last international here. And the big screen over to the left hand side with the words "We are together with you, Morocco." The Aviva Stadium falls silent.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Calls for the people of Morocco.
The boys in green one last time.
There you go, come on Ireland is the cry from the PA announcer. Come on Ireland, come on Kenny Cunningham.
Sounded quite spontaneous that, Adrian, didn't it? It was good to see. No, it's been great. Even that rendition of the national anthem there was fantastic. Fans really got behind it, didn't they?
Well, Stephen Kenny was talking in his press conference yesterday about the need for the players to feed off the energy of the crowd. There's certainly terrific energy, and I mentioned the atmosphere. It's there for the players to grab a hold of. Importantly, start well. Adam Ida inside the centre circle. It'll be Ireland to play from right to left as we look out from the west stand here at Lansdowne Road, playing towards the Havelock Square end of the ground, where those clad in orange are housed, the travelling Dutch support. And of course in the south stand, magnificent sea of green as well. Our match referee from Bosnia and Herzegovina is Ervan Pechko, and away we go. And straight away there's a touch from Matt Doherty on the far side, the returning Matt Doherty after serving his suspension. James McLean on Ireland's left hand side with a cushioned header, and the Dutch trying to get a hold of the ball, but it'll break in the centre of midfield for Alan Brown, who feeds it wide. Ireland looking for a bright start here. Matt Doherty with a goatee beard drifting inside into a central position right hand side of the area. Chidozie Ogbene getting involved. Adam Ida inside the area. The ball is played back. Cries of shoot, but it's worked out to John Egan on the left hand side. He goes sliding in, and that will be the first free kick awarded to the Dutch just on the edge of their own penalty area. A little overzealous there from John Egan, and the referee sounds his whistle, and the Netherlands get on with it quickly. Work back to their goalkeeper Mark Flecken, who has come in since the World Cup. He wasn't even in the squad for the World Cup finals in Qatar, but he wins his 6th international cap this evening, playing his football with Brentford, having moved from Freiburg. Oh, and a mistake here, not chance now for Adam Ida. Tees it up, Ogbene is there. Brilliant block to deny the Republic of Ireland. Well, what a start that could have been. Chaos inside the Dutch penalty area, gifting Ireland a chance, and it was teed up for Chidozie Ogbene, but the sliding challenge denies the Republic of Ireland.
It's exactly what we have to do, Adrian. That full court press, not allowing the Dutch to play out, steal the ball off them inside the penalty box. Adam Ida could have swiveled and had the shot himself, didn't. Teed up one of his teammates. Great block from Weaver, wasn't it? Ball out for a corner kick.
And the corner kick will be taken by James McLean on Ireland's right hand side. Well, we were almost into an early lead in the second minute at the Aviva Stadium, but perhaps from a set piece. Shane Duffy, as you'd expect, is gone forward and has joined John Egan and a cluster of players in and around the goal area as the ball is floated in. Strong appeal for handball, and the referee has pointed to the spot. It's a penalty for Ireland. We haven't even played 2 minutes. The Dutch protest. It will be checked, of course. VAR is in operation this evening, but straight away the crowd and the Irish players appealed for the penalty, and the referee had no hesitation in pointing to the spot. Virgil van Dijk is speaking with the referee, and it came off the hand of Van Dijk. Now they'll view it in the VAR room, as Shane Duffy got something on it. Terrific delivery in. Kenny Cunningham, you're having a look at the replay here.
I think this will stand. The reason being, yes, it does come off Shane Duffy's head, but when it strikes Van Dijk's arm, his arm for me is away from his body. Adrian, if that arm's tied to his body there, I think he has a stronger argument, but I think that's going to stay. I think that decision's going to remain, and we're going to have the opportunity to get this vital opening goal.
Well, a rather disbelieving Virgil van Dijk. Handball the decision, penalty for Ireland. It's Adam Ida to take. He scored his first international goal against Gibraltar in the summer. The ball is on the spot. Mark Flecken in the centre of his goal. Ida for Ireland in the 4th minute, runs up right footed, slots it in. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way. What a start for Ireland. Adam Ida, supremely confident, right footed, drilled it into the left corner. Keeper went the wrong way, and Ireland go in front. What a start.
Oh, exactly the start we all wanted. Adrian, give a huge amount of credit to Adam Ida. Very pressurised situation there for the young Irish centre forward. He showed great courage, stepping up. It was wonderful contact, just opened his body up as if he was going to put it to Flecken's left hand side, and wrapped just the inside of his foot around and put it inside the far corner. Brilliant strike.
Well, the Dutch must be absolutely shell-shocked. Ireland off to a flyer at the start. Now can they build on it? Adam Ida, well, he was absolutely composure personified as he drilled home the spot kick. A perfect start for Ireland. Can they build on it? And the temptation might be to sit off the Netherlands, but it was a vibrant start from Ireland. Chidozie Ogbenny with the effort that was teed up for him, which was blocked behind for the resulting corner, which resulted in Ireland getting that penalty kick. And clearly VAR checked it all, and as Cunningham said, a clear penalty against Virgil van Dijk. And Van Dijk now heads it clear, and that's certainly got the crowd going. Matthias de Ligt with the header forward, he goes to ground. Nathan Ake, by the way, playing in the centre of the defence for the Netherlands tonight, having shaken off the knock which forced him out of the Greece game. So Matthias de Ligt, who is just writhing in agony at the moment.
He's grand agent. Just a bit of contact there with Jason Knight. That'll give us a bit of encouragement, seeing their 6'4" centre half hit the ground in that fashion. It's been a great start from Ireland. Even there, Gavin Bazuna having the ball to his feet, but it easily had to look to play out, but he didn't. He played the ball straight back to front, 50 yards up the pitch, not taking too many risks. That's common sense for me, just building on the start we've already made.
In the 6th minute at a rocking Aviva Stadium, Ireland 1, the Netherlands 0. It's going to be a free kick to the Republic of Ireland. In fact, it's a drop ball, of course, following the injury to Matthias de Ligt, so it's taken quickly in the centre of midfield by Josh Cullen, and Ireland have possession now with Alan Brown just inside the Irish half, and it's back with Shane Duffy, captain this evening of Ireland, and it's sent back by Cullen to Gavin Bazunu, and Bazunu in sky blue this evening launches it downfield, but it's rather aimless, and Virgil van Dijk is happy to see it bounce through to Mark Flecken in the Dutch goal.
Yeah, it's just got to be more accurate. Nothing wrong with that ball. I've just mentioned it previously, Adrian, 40-50 yards. He's got targets up there, Adamida, Ogbene and Jason Knight. Just got to be more accurate with the pass to Gavin Bazunu.
So Van Dijk is on it. He's getting the boos from the home support. Ball is helped on by Denzel Dumfries. Shane Duffy is there to nip in. He gets there ahead of Cody Gakpo, and now Duffy has been upended. It's getting pretty feisty. Mats Wiefer went in with a very firm challenge. Referee is happy to allow the tough stuff, the rough stuff to unwind here at a very tense Aviva Stadium. But Ireland after that pretty lively start as Nathan Collins feeds it back to Gavin Bazunu, who takes a touch on Bazunu out to Ireland's left hand side, kept in play by John Egan, but only for the benefit of Xavi Simons, and Simons on the right hand side delivers the cross towards the back post, but too much on it, and it'll be retrieved to the far side for Ireland by Chidozie Ogbenny. The pace of the start of this match absolutely unrelenting, and Ogbenny halfway inside the Irish half on the right hand side. Well, he just walked himself into trouble. He was outnumbered, and now the Dutch have possession. Malen laying it off. Now Xavi Simons trying to work his way through, but on Thursday night the goalkeeper Mark Flecken sends it long, and John Egan has possession as the smoke billows around following the flares that were let off after that lead goal converted from the penalty spot by Adamida, as the smoke begins to clear. But what a terrific start. I think that's what Stephen Kenny was hoping for, that the Irish would be very positive early on in the match, and they have certainly been that and more, as Nathan Collins drives forward trying to work it out to Ireland's right hand side, but the ball intercepted by the Dutch, who have it now with Wiefer winning just his 4th international cap. As I mentioned in the preview a little earlier, didn't feature against the Greeks on Thursday night. It's a subject of some interest from Lazio and Serie A during the course of the summer. Ball is fed out to the Dutch right by Matthias de Ligt, and a pretty firm challenge going in on Denzel Dumfries. Ireland happy just to make life difficult for the Dutch, who love to knock it around, of course. Xavi Simons is beaten to it by Josh Cullen, and Ireland work it back to Shane Duffy, and the boys in green are certainly up for this.
Yeah, James McLean might be in a little bit of trouble here. Caught Dumfries after he popped the ball on the inside. Referee played a good advantage for me, but Dumfries hasn't got up, so a lot of pressure now on the referee to take the yellow card out, possibly for James McLean. Just got to be careful there. Totally committing himself there, James McLean, all or nothing. Didn't make any contact with the ball, left a little bit on the Dutch defender. Generally in those situations you're lucky if you get away with the yellow card. That might well be the case, but he won't get away with another one. But you're right, Adrian, that's what we want. High intensity stuff, high press, getting after the Dutch, not allowing them to settle, disrupting them. That's what we tried to do in the early part of this game.
An early goal for Greece against Gibraltar, perhaps no great surprise in that. So Greece a goal to the good against Gibraltar in the night's other match. So Greece 1, Gibraltar 0. And here at the Aviva Stadium, it's Republic of Ireland 1, Netherlands 0. And we're in the 10th minute here. So James McLean and Denzel Dumfries just shaking hands, and play resumes. John Egan has possession halfway inside the Irish half, back to Shane Duffy just inside the Irish penalty area, and it's confidently crossed the penalty area by Shane Duffy. But Ireland now working it into a central midfield position as they try to break forward. with Jason Knight, who carried it forward, but Ireland retaining possession well now. And Alan Brown getting on it, feeding it all the way back towards halfway to Shane Duffy, who has support now from John Egan on Ireland's left-hand side, and he'll dink it down the line, but well, that one will bounce through. Matthias de Ligt happy to see it go behind for a goal kick for the Netherlands. 10 minutes played, Republic of Ireland 1, Netherlands 0.
Yeah, just that bit of quality of ball, Adrian, again. John Egan there in possession, no real pressure. James McLean had drawn Dumfries under the ball. Jason Knight looking to drive into the space and behind where we want him. Just the quality of the ball there from John, just overhit. Just can't build any sustained pressure on the Dutch goal. But I think looking at that, the way we're shaping up, no surprise. They've got Benny off the right, Jason Knight narrowed up off the left. I think there is a weakness in this Dutch team. It's down that left-hand side, the combination of Blind and Ake. Both of them not the quickest over the ground, Adrian. If Matt Doherty and Ogbene can get themselves in 2v2 situations down that side of the pitch, we could have a bit of joy.
Yeah, Nathan Ake playing on the left of the back three with Virgil van Dijk in the middle, Matthias de Ligt to the right, Denzel Dumfries the right wing back, and Daley Blind. Perhaps something of a surprise that he's the left wing back. He did play in that role, of course, on Thursday night, but some newspaper reports, well, just expressing a little bit of surprise that he's the chosen one. Very experienced player, of course, the 7th most capped player in the history of Dutch football, as Ireland win it back. Brilliant work by Adam Ida. He got through so much work in Paris on Thursday night, and he's back there to win it back for Ireland, and feeds it back to Gavin Bazunu, who sends it along. Chidozie Ogbene is off in pursuit, but Nathan Ake gets there first, and it'll be tidied up in the end by Virgil van Dijk. Back to his goalkeeper, Mark Flecken, the 30-year-old. So he's a late developer in terms of international football. Cody Gakpo trying to lay it off to Daley Blind on the Dutch left-hand side, but Ireland win it back straight away once again, and they're certainly working very hard early on here, Ireland.
Yeah, that's good press again. The Irish front three pressing inside the opposition penalty box, and what's got to happen then, everybody's got to come up in behind them. They did it there. Don't have to worry about the pace of Blind streaking down that left-hand side. Malin as well, not the quickest thing over two legs, so Duffy Egan, Nathan Collins have got to be prepared to step up tonight as close to that halfway line as possible and back up those front lads who are working their socks off to try and force a few mistakes from those Dutch defenders.
Well, a mistake there by Matthias de Ligt with the outball. Nathan Ake has to cut it out as Adam Ida was almost in. And good work from Marlon, but Nathan Ake had to deal with that situation. Now it's Matt Doherty from a quickly taken throw in by Chidozie Ogbene. Great run here on Ireland's right hand side by Matt Doherty, trying to tee up the cross, and the attempted cross is blocked behind, and Ireland have themselves another corner kick. It's been very positive from Ireland, who lead here by 1-0, and they have yet another corner, and we know what happened the last time. It resulted in a penalty for handball against Virgil van Dijk of Liverpool. So once again it'll be James McLean, the man from the Cregan in Derry City, to swing it in the 13th minute. Hugely positive start from Stephen Kenny's side. Can they propel themselves into a 2-goal lead here? McLean will swing it in left-footed again. A lot of players clustered in and around the 6-yard box here as McLean runs up, and it's a delicious delivery once again. Flecken fists it away only as far as the edge of the area, and was volleyed goalwards by Josh Cullen, but easily dealt with by the Netherlands. Lovely little cushioned header by Nathan Collins to pick out Chidozie Ogbene, and up they rise at the back post. Appeals once again for another penalty, but the referee unmoved this time. But certainly defensively the Dutch are being tested by Ireland.
What a great cross into the box that was, Jim. Chidozie Ogbene down this left hand side, predominantly right footed, but didn't mind shifting it onto his left, delivered a beautiful ball to the back post, and it was Alan Brown. That's exactly where we want to see Alan Brown, attacking balls into the box under pressure. Dutch at 6s and 7s almost eventually get the ball clear, but great sustained pressure from Ireland there. It's exactly where we want to be, in the opposition half the pitch, testing them in and around their penalty box.
Bazunu with the outball, looking for Jason Knight, but won there by Matthias de Ligt. And de Ligt just doing enough. Interestingly, when Nathan Ake went off on Thursday night, it was Stefan de Vrij who stepped in. Ake passed fit, despite that knock picked up just before half time. Might have felt perhaps that with Ake, with a very heavy schedule in terms of football, with Manchester City looming with Champions League and all that, that he might have been rested tonight, but he is one for the battle. So Ake starting for the Dutch this evening. Referee has awarded a free kick here to the Netherlands for a challenge on Denzel Dumfries, about halfway inside the Irish half. Dumfries drawing the free and getting it. So a free kick for the Dutch in well, just about 15 metres in from the right hand side touchline, and Dumfries is there, and so too is Daley Blind. So will it be the right of Dumfries or the left of Daly Blint? They've lined up plenty in orange right on the edge of the Irish area. So Ireland leading by 1-0. Ronald Koeman pacing just on the edge of his technical area at the moment. So Ireland having some defending to do here, and Blint will leave it, and it's swung in, it's deep towards the back post. Nathan Ake was there, but Nathan Collins got there first, and a very important header by Nathan Collins. And the Dutch get themselves a corner, but Collins really switched on and dealt with that free kick, which was swept in invitingly, but put behind by Collins, who dealt with the danger. So now the Dutch all set up on the edge of the area, cluster of players. Gavin Bazunu unimpeded on his goal line. There are 5 players inside the D, in fact 6 when you add in Xavi Simons. And here comes the corner, and it's an outswinger, and nobody there in orange to attack the ball at the near post, and Ireland get it away. And every touch of an Irish player has been celebrated with the rafters at the Aviva Stadium, and they get themselves a free kick, and there's a yellow card dished out to Mats Wiefer.
Yeah, Jason Knight's done great there. Initially we deal with the threat, Adrian inside the box from the corner kick. Jason Knight's onto it in the flash, hasn't got a huge amount of options. The Irish player, but just thinks it past Wiefer and kind of draws the foul. And a yellow card for the Dutch centre midfielder. He's got to be careful.
Here's Jason Knight. We'll get the thoughts of Pat and Keith very shortly. John Egan under pressure from Xavi Simons, works it back to Bazunu, and Bazunu clears up towards halfway, comfortably won in the air by Virgil van Dijk at the expense of Adam Ida. And now Alan Brown feeds it out to Ireland's right hand side, where there's lots of space now for Matt Doherty to drive forward into inside the Dutch half. Ireland's right hand side, down the line now for Chidozie Ogbene. Ida waits in the middle, his confidence will be sky high after slotting home that pressure penalty. Chidozie Ogbene giving Nathan Ake plenty to think about. The ball is worked back and swung in, and it's gathered by the Dutch goalkeeper Mark Flecken. So Pat Fenlon, Keith Tracy. Pat, you first perhaps. Your impression so far, 16 minutes played, Ireland leading.
Yeah, it's been a brilliant start from Ireland, shaped the team, pressed them real high. That penalty so early on, the chance before that's been an excellent start from the team. There is gaps down the side. Matt Doherty's getting a lot of room down that right hand side. Just take care of his final ball in. Benye's causing troubles as well, running down the side of the centre half. So it's a brilliant start so far.
Keith?
Yeah, I'm over the moon, Adrian, with the start. I think the tempo in the press has been really, really good. We're not complicating the game. We're getting the ball out wide and we're putting it into the box. And to be fair, the Dutch look really rattled. They're not comfortable at all at the minute.
Ball is switched from right to left by Virgil van Dijk. Ireland temporarily had it. Matt Doherty just losing out. Now Cody Gakpo trying to slide it through. Denzel Dumfries could be in. He goes down. Penalty is the decision of the referee. Gavin Bazunu was committed to it, and the referee, well, in fact, he's dished out a yellow card now to Gavin Bazunu, but it's going to be a penalty. Denzel Dumfries in on goal. It was a terrific through ball, and Bazunu was committed to the challenge. We'll get a replay of it, I'm sure, but it's a penalty to the Dutch.
Oh, it's a brilliant run from Dumfries. Just a lack of communication between James McLean and John Egan. John Egan got sucked in, the space was in behind. James McLean didn't track the run, so he's in on goal. Dumfries does exactly the right thing, Agent, just taps it past Gavin Bazunu. It's a clear penalty. I suppose we were all holding our breath there, weren't we, hoping it wouldn't be a red card, but I think in the modern game, as long as the referee's securing the fact that the goalkeeper isn't being cynical in terms of taking the forward down there, generally speaking in the modern game, it's a yellow card on the penalty kick, so I think the referee got that one right.
So penalty for the Netherlands to draw level. Cody Gakpo of Liverpool to take it in the 19th minute. After that terrific start from Ireland, the Dutch have barely had a look in the match, but they have a penalty here at the Aviva Stadium. Cody Gakpo against Gavin Bazunu. Remember Bazunu and that marvellous save a couple of years ago against Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal. Gakpo with a short run up, maybe 3 paces or so. Up he comes, right footed into the corner. In fairness, Bazunu went the right way, almost got a hand on it, but the Dutch are level, 1-1.
I think you're right, Adrian. Gavin Bazunu got a piece of it. A little bit of frustration on his part when he saw the ball hit to the back of the net. He went the right side, he extended that left arm of his. I think it was just underneath him, the ball, and just enough pace generated on the ball. He just couldn't quite get enough of a hand on it. It was a good penalty, and you're right, the goals come from absolutely nowhere. To be honest with you, we've been utterly critical. We'd actually turned the ball over. Van Dijk had tried a big switch of play, Adrian. We'd won it back, but we'd get the ball away very quickly on the turnover. and we were a little bit opened up, we were a little bit stretched, and there's that key ball in behind which opened us up.
Well, the Irish have to try and keep playing their game after that mighty start to the match. The early goal, important that the crowd stick with the team now after the Dutch drew level with that well taken penalty, but credit to Gavin Bazunu, he almost pulled off another heroic save for the Republic of Ireland, but not to be. Went the right way and just a fingertip away from keeping it out. But back of the net, and Cody Gakpo has his 8th international goal for the Netherlands, also on target of course against the Greeks in Eindhoven on Thursday night. Hasn't really featured too prominently for Liverpool so far this season, but he's a quality player who really announced his arrival on the world stage in Qatar back in December.
Yeah, you're right, Adrian. He announced it as playing more of a central striking role, played as like a split strikers in the World Cup, and even this evening, although he's playing off the left, he's playing on the pockets on the inside. And you're right, Adrian, very comfortable when he comes inside, gets his head up, very aware, and the quality of that ball through for Dumfries was absolutely exceptional.
Well, Ireland have possession on the far side, and it's Doherty who feeds it down the line for Chidozie Ogbene once again, giving Nathan Ake a pretty torturous time so far, and Ogbene heading towards the byline, trying to deliver the cross. Ake got a block to it, and it's still Ogbene battling away to try and win it back. He's outnumbered in the end. Frankie de Jong, who we barely mentioned, in fact that's the first time I've certainly mentioned him on the ball, gets the free kick, a relieving free kick for the Netherlands deep inside their own half.
Yeah, a bit frustrating there from Ogbene, Adrian. I'd love to see him just take a big touch beyond that game, 1v1 inside the 18-yard box. He takes a lot of quick touches, Ogbene. He's got to use that pace, just knock it 5-10 yards outside out of your feet and just use that natural speed which he has. Spoken about Ake, wouldn't be the quickest thing on two legs. Just thought he let him out of jail there a little bit. Too many short touches of the ball, gave him the opportunity to intercept.
So an Irish throw in to be taken by James McLean about 20 metres from the corner flag down to our right hand side, the south stand end of the pitch here at the Aviva Stadium. It's been a pretty frenetic game so far, one apiece at the moment. Ireland after that whirlwind start with Adam Ida converting a penalty after Virgil van Dijk's handball, but the Dutch level themselves from a penalty, converted, tucked away by Cody Gakpo. Frankie de Jong goes to ground under the challenge from Jason Knight. Free kick to the Dutch just inside the Irish half in a central position, and de Jong feeds it out to Daley Blind on the far side, and Blind, who's winning his 103rd cap for the Dutch this evening, back to Nathan Ake in the central position in terms of that back three, and Blind plays it forward now. Daniel Mallon trying to nutmeg Shane Duffy, but Duffy, the wise old head, is wise to that, and Nathan Collins feeds it back to Bazunu, and Bazunu takes a touch on the penalty spot and then tries to pick out James McLean on this near side, but Denzel Dumfries just does enough to ease him out of the way, and the Dutch get themselves a throw-in. And the crowd are just taking a bit of a breather. The Dutch fans here in big numbers, and they've been around Dublin city centre all afternoon, and I'm sure they boosted the economy no end by being in Dublin for the weekend.
Not as much as those American college fans, Adrian. 150 million we took off them. I don't think we quite took as much off the Dutch in Temple Bar this afternoon, but yeah, great colour. Obviously travelling great numbers to support their team. It's great to see.
Blind off to Frankie de Jong just inside the Irish half, far side of the pitch, and Frankie de Jong off Barcelona with a little return pass from Mats Wiefer, who's on a yellow card now. De Jong inside the centre circle, and the game just going through something of a lull period after that frantic start as the Dutch work it out to the right hand side. Dumfries back to De Ligt and de Jong, and now they're getting their passing going. Mats Wiefer now just threads a 40-metre pass crossfield to Daley Blind, who gets it under control under no pressure whatsoever as the Dutch continue to build here. Ireland just sitting in at the moment. Frankie de Jong is on it, halfway inside the Irish half, central position, trying to work his way clear. He's been hustled and harried by Josh Cullen. The ball fired out to the right hand side now. Javi Simons off to Denzel Dumfries, and now De Ligt takes a touch on halfway, and the Dutch enjoying possession at the moment, and all the way back to their goalkeeper Mark Flecken of Brentford, and he clears up towards Denzel Dumfries, who gets a touch to it. Daniel Mallon under pressure from Shane Duffy, and Duffy just did enough to work it towards John Egan, and it's the Dutch who have possession now with Virgil van Dijk just inside his own half, off to Nathan Ake of Manchester City, far side of the pitch, closed down by Chidozie Ogbene, takes a turn. And the Dutch now beginning to dictate in terms of possession. They have control of the ball at the moment, retaining possession well, but Ireland just sitting off and taking a bit of a breather at the moment after that high press game that they've employed so far in the match so far. We're in the 25th minute. It's Republic of Ireland 1, Netherlands 1. Siemens allows it to run. Daniel Mallon, and Mallon could be in here. Daniel Mallon at the edge of the area, inside the area, right-footed shot, and well saved by Gavin Bazunu down to his right-hand side. Well, in the blink of an eye, the Dutch in, and Mallon with the opportunity, and Bazunu with a fine save. A little close to the goalkeeper in the end, but he had to deal with it, and down he went. But that just underlines the threat posed by the Dutch, knocking the ball around, and then Mallon was in, advanced towards goal, right hand side of the area, inside the area eventually, and right footed right across the face of goal, and calling Gavin Bazunu into action.
Oh, you're right, Adrian. It was great combination play, wasn't it, between Siemens and Mallon? In the blink of an eye, they were in behind the Irish defence again. It was a decent save from Gavin Bazunu. What I expect him to make, to be honest with you. The angle was probably against the Dutch centre forward. He's been very quiet up to this point, but he really sprung to life there. Just a little bit of a reminder for Ireland. The pace has just dropped off a little. The Dutch playing the game at the pace that they kind of wanted. I know we can't play at this intensity for the whole kind of 90 minutes, but as best we can, just try and get on that front foot, get after the Dutch in their own half the pitch. When we take a step back, Adrian, as we did for the last, as you have done the last couple of minutes, Dutch look a little bit more dangerous, working those little combinations high up the pitch between Mallon, Gakpo and Simmons in particular.
Yeah, Gakpo trying to get on it, but now it's Doherty raiding down Ireland's right hand side. Chidozie Ogbene in support now. Ogbene has possession, right hand side of the area, right on the angle off to Matt Doherty, and Doherty rolled it all the way back to Nathan Collins, who has to stretch just to get the ball under control. Plays the ball into a central position. Brown urged to shoot. That's a threaded through to Adam Ida, but the Dutch win it back. And Xavi Simons, though, is out muscled by Jason Knight. And Ireland working so hard to win the ball back there. Now Alan Brown feeds it out to Doherty, Ireland's right hand side. Ireland back in possession once again. Now Ogbene, an opportunity to deliver the cross, and it's blocked behind by Nathan Ake. And Ireland on the front foot once again.
Yeah, that's our way in. Down that right hand side, Matt Doherty just sliding the ball in behind Blind. Chidozie Ogbene dragging Ake out of that kind of central defensive position. First time cross, which is what we want to see. Force yet another corner kick.
We're in the 27th minute. It's James McLean to take it. Alan Brown, Adam Ida, John Egan, Shane Duffy, Nathan Collins, as you'd expect, inside the area, awaiting delivery here. McLean swings it in. It's a little flat towards the near post. The ball breaks loose. And an opportunity for Jason Knight to get a shot away. He teed it up for himself, but it's repelled by the Dutch, and they managed to defend that situation. But Ireland certainly posing a threat in an attacking sense in the match so far.
Yeah, you're right. Very similar to the opening goal that led to the penalty. Adrian, was the delivery into the box. The Dutch just can't deal with the initial ball.
Ball sent forward by Nathan Collins, seeking out Chidozie Ogbene, but well defended by Daley Blind. The Dutch have coughed up possession. Well, no, they have, because the referee has awarded a free kick for the challenge on Frankie de Jong just outside his own penalty area. Alan Brown looking a little bemused at that decision. The Dutch tried to take the free kick quickly, but they've been whistled back here by the referee Irvan Pechko. So the Dutch will have to start it all off once again.
Yeah, it's important we recognise that, Adrian. Sometimes the players on the pitch, you should be able to see it yourself, but certainly at half time the Irish management team were getting in the heads of Matt Doherty. Another example there, Matt, a couple of minutes previously, just dropping the shoulder on Daley Blind, just walked past him, just couldn't turn, could he? The Dutch left back showing all his age there. It's got to be our way in. We've had a couple of good moments out there already, but those two players in particular, Matt and Chidozie, got to be demanding the ball off the rest of the players. And Alan Brown, Josh Cullen in central midfield, that's got to be their first pass, Adrian, isn't it? Out to the right hand side, get them involved in the play as often as we can.
Yeah, Daley Blind, 33 years of age now, of course, at Manchester United for 4 years, where he enjoyed success in the FA Cup and the Europa League, now playing with Girona. Matt Doherty, near the corner flag, executes the clearance, but the ball had gone out of play on the far side, so the Dutch will have a throw in about 10 metres or so, maybe 20 metres from the corner flag, to be taken on the far side. The Irish supporters not too happy with the referees. Well, the Dutch were taking the throw in, but of course it should have been an Irish one, so it'll be Matt Doherty to take. Matt Doherty on the far side of the pitch, very few options available at the moment. Alan Brown is there, so too is Josh Cullen. And eventually it's Alan Brown who works it back. He was caught late by Xavi Simons, but Ireland sending it forward. And Matthias de Ligt with the knockdown now. An opportunity for Wiefer to pick out Frankie de Jong, 35 metres out from goal, trying to slide it through for the run of Cody Gakpo, but broken up by John Egan. And Ireland now with Jason Knight just inside the Irish half, slides it forward for the run of Adam Ida. And Ida up against the Liverpool man, Virgil van Dijk. Ida away from Virgil van Dijk, but the referee has a judge who is pushing, and it's going to be a pullback there, and it's going to be a relieving free kicking in here. What the Irish supporters inside the Aviva Stadium think of that decision from the referee.
Yeah, I thought it was right. I thought Alameda just had a piece of Virgil van Dijk's jersey there. Brilliant football from Ireland. John Egan in particular winning the ball out on the edge of his own box. Little reverse pass on the inside to Jason Knight. Again, 2 touches, forward pass, 1v1. Alameda maybe overly critical. Maybe the pass was slightly overhit. Get Van Dijk the opportunity to get across and use that kind of bit of speed to get back in contact with Ida. But great counter-attacking football there from Ireland.
Well, it's the Dutch who have possession at the moment. Nathan Ake, as we hit the half-hour mark at the Aviva Stadium. These two nations, of course, down through the years have served up plenty of classic encounters. Obviously the 2001 was referenced a lot during the course of the week, the McAteer goal, and of course the early challenge by Roy Keane on Mark Overmars. Gary Kelly, of course, sent off in that game before McAteer came up with the goods. It was one of those stirring occasions at the old Lansdowne Road as Ireland went on to qualify for the World Cup finals in Korea and Japan. I was having a little look at the starting 11 during the course of the week, the build-up to this game, and I was saying, well, I wonder how did Kenny Cunningham do that day. And then, lo and behold, he didn't start. What was going on? Where were you?
No coincidence, Adrian. No,
suspended,
one
I
of our
guess.
greatest footballing moments. I wasn't on the pitch. No coincidence.
Okay, well, let's go back to the two lads who are watching just behind us. Keith, your thoughts at the moment?
Yeah, I'm still really happy. I know the Dutch have grown into it. They're starting to get into their passing rhythms, but we're carrying a very big threat with balls into the box. The Dutch look very shaky.
Yeah, we'll get the thoughts of Pat at the moment, but Ireland have just been awarded a free kick outside the area. Nathan Ake hauling down Adam Ida in that right old tussle, and certainly Adam Ida making life really difficult for the Dutch defence so far. And that was an easy decision in the end. In fact, it was Chidozie Ogbene.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Adrian. Gavin Mizuno looking up the field, 1v1 situation, just being accurate with that delivery from back to front. He was there straight onto the chest of Ogbene. Ake knew he was in a little bit trouble 1v1. Dragged the Irishman to the ground. Really good opportunity here with this free kick. Almost tempted to take a pot shot on target here. Alan Brown's over the ball, but still feel as if with a bit of disguise on this, still might look to hit that kind of back post area where the big players will be lined up to attack it.
Yeah, the Dutch with 3 in the wall. It's about 30 metres out from goal, slightly to the right. Alan Brown is over the dead ball. Well, the Dutch with that 3-player wall, and Brown over the wall and not too far wide. Well, it hit the stanchion behind the goal. Well, that was Alan Brown with a curling effort, and Flecken darting across, perhaps a little relieved to see it drift just wide.
Yeah, I can understand it. Age was that kind of distance, just close enough, narrowed up enough where you think it might, if I really catch this in the sweet spot, I could score. It just didn't generate enough power really on the shot, Alan.
And Ireland winning it back very smartly. Alameda with the attempted layoff, but straight to Frankie de Jong. And Nathan Ake has it now for the Dutch, who are trying to play it out. And Frankie de Jong has coughed up possession. Chance here now for Chidozie Ogbene inside the area, and it's blocked behind by Nathan Ake at the expense of a corner. Oh, the Dutch got themselves into a right old muddle, and the opportunity presented itself to Chidozie Ogbene inside the area, a right-footed shot, and Ake got himself in the way.
Just a little bit of panic there from Ogbene. Brilliant closing down from Alan Brown. Adam Ida feeds in the ball. He's only got to take a first time, Adrian, or once he has the touch and Ake comes across, he's got to check back on the inside again onto his left foot, one or the other. Don't take the third option and shoot on your second touch there, because Ake's always going to get the block.
Another Irish corner in the 34th minute to be taken by James McLean. And again, Ireland, well, so many players inside the area, and inside the 6-yard box the ball is swung in and it just drifts away. And Chidozie Ogbene races to keep it alive, but it's going to be an Irish throw-in. So Ireland just penning the Dutch inside their own penalty area at the moment. And Chidozie Ogbene will leave the throw-in. And James McLean coming across to take it in the 34th minute. It's Ireland 1, Netherlands 1 at the Aviva Stadium. This place has been rocking since the get-go, apart maybe from a lull, maybe for about 5 or 6 minutes when the Dutch took control. But it's James McLean with the throw in about 15 metres from the corner flag on Ireland's left-hand side. And Josh Cullen with a bit of a heavy touch right at the end line, and it goes behind for a Dutch goal kick.
Yeah, just got to take a bit more care there, Adrian, don't we? Throw in, you've got 2 options on the inside there. Even if you have to take another 3, 5, 7 seconds, just make sure that throw in is good and you retain possession.
So 11 minutes to go to half time. Pat Fenlon, what have you made of it so far?
Yeah, it's been very good. Really pleased with it. I think the performance has been excellent. We've pressed them ever so well. We're giving them all sorts of problems down their left hand side. Aki, he can't deal with Benye's pace. Matt Doherty getting a lot of joy off Danny Blill down that side as well. So it's been really good performance. Penalty against us was obviously poor, and then the chance, we just got to be careful.
We've got to be careful here because Davy Seaman is driving forward, but a super defensive challenge coming in from John Egan. He just slid in, and it'll be a corner kick for the Dutch, as Xavi Simons, joint top scorer in the Eredivisie last season with PSV Eindhoven, almost manufacturing a cross for the Dutch to try and open up Ireland, but they got themselves a corner kick here, and an opportunity for Cody Gakpo to swing it in. Matthias de Ligt amongst those who've gone forward. Nathan Ake is there, Virgil van Dijk just inside the D at the moment, so Gakpo to take. Daley Blind is available if he decides to go short. He's been picked up at the moment by Jason Knight. It's swung in, it's deep, it's an outswinger towards the back post, and the glancing header goes out well wide of the target from the right wing back for the Netherlands, Denzel Dumfries.
Yeah, it's a really good size. Dumfries gets himself into the box most of these set piece situations. Nathan Collins has just done enough there, Adrian, the back post. He's never going to head the ball clear, Nathan, but at least he got into the body. Dumfries made it difficult for him.
Well, Ireland playing it out from the back, and confidently so. Work back to Shane Duffy, just a metre or so from the end line. I can tell you that the Greeks have they've pulled well clear now of Gibraltar. They lead that game by 3-0. Greece 3, Gibraltar 0 here at the Aviva Stadium. It's one apiece, but it's been a really good watch between the Republic of Ireland and the Netherlands so far. Alan Brown strokes it out to Ireland's right hand side now for Matt Doherty. Nathan Collins tiptoeing forward on Ireland's right hand side. It's good to see the defenders getting forward and being so progressive and brave. Now it's with Josh Cullen, and Brown feeds it back to John Egan, and he'll get the return, the Cork man from Mahon in Cork City. Brown feeding it forward now to Jason Knight and Adamida, another of the Cork contingent, along with Chidozie Agbene. The attempted cross from Derryman James McLean is blocked away, and it'll be a throw-in for the Republic of Ireland, but the flag is raised on the far side, so it'll be the Dutch that get possession of the football.
Yeah, you mentioned it there a minute previously, Nathan Collins getting himself involved. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever, John. No need for us at times to keep that back three intact just against Malin. We know how effective Nathan could be driving forward. There's a great example against France when he pinched on the halfway line, played Chidozie and went on an underlapping run. Should have really been played in. He would have been in on goal. So yeah, good to see Nathan taking responsibility there and driving forward. Look at the impact of the game higher up the pitch.
Ireland so industrious, working so hard here to win the ball back. Matt Doherty with the attempted back heel, but it's sent forward by Xavi Simons, but too much on it, and that runs through to Gavin Bazunu in the 38th minute at the Aviva Stadium. Quickly bowled out by Gavin Bazunu, and once again that perhaps just further evidence, if required, of the ambition of Ireland, as Gavin Bazunu, no time wasting, getting on with it quickly, but the Dutch have possession back deep inside their own half with Nathan Ake of Manchester City. And Ake, one of the the defensive three, with Ronald Koeman swinging a bit of a surprise for that game on Thursday night against Greece, going with a 3 at the back. Of course, Netherlands football down through the years, total football and all of that jazz, very much built on the 4-3-3 of Johan Cruyff and right down through the years. But he made a change after a very sluggish start in terms of this qualifying campaign, and obviously the results of the Nations League weren't too promising either. 2 defeats in that, and of course beaten and comprehensively beaten by the French in Paris right at the start of the campaign by 4-0. A very sobering night. They were 2-0 down inside the opening 10 minutes. It was a real shock to the system of the Dutch, so he's tweaked his defensive approach. Ronald Koeman, one of the greats of course of Dutch football, very tenacious and tough tackling player. Ireland have possession back, and Ireland certainly putting in the tough tackle so far, and it's with Alan Brown just inside his own half, a little short pass to Josh Cullen, and Ireland again confidently knocking the ball around, but they've given it away here. And Wiefer offloads to Frankie de Jong, and he's driving forward here for the Dutch, about 40 metres out from goal, off to Daley Blind on the Dutch left hand side, back to a central position. Wiefer out to Matthias de Ligt, as the Dutch just recycle it and work it out to the right hand side now. Dumfries back to Matthias de Ligt, who's playing his football these days with Harry Kane at Bayern Munich, and all the way back to Virgil van Dijk, and he in turn back to the goalkeeper. Good press from Ireland, and Flecken under real pressure from Adamida, and that has forced the error, and you can hear what the crowd think inside the Aviva Stadium. Flecken under pressure from Adamida as he was closed down, and the ball goes straight out of play for an Irish throw-in.
Yeah, we've done great, Adrian, in terms of that kind of full court press. When we put it on the Dutch, they've really struggled with it and given up the ball. Should give us great encouragement going into the second half. Try and keep that intensity level up whenever we can.
Well, that Greek third goal, as it was, has been chalked off, so it remains 2-0 in favour of the Greeks in the night's other game, taking place, of course, in this Group B qualifier for the European Championships next year. Ireland with Shane Duffy stroking it forward now to Josh Cullen. Cullen just takes the ball and feeds it forward now to Jason Knight. Good ball out to Ireland's left hand side for James McLean, and the referee has sounded his whistle, and he's just having a word in the ear of Jason Knight at the moment. So the Dutch have got themselves a free kick, and they've taken it quickly through Matthias de Ligt, with the referee unhappy because he was just having a word with Jason Knight. So with less than 5 minutes to go to half time, the Dutch have themselves this free kick inside their own half, in fact halfway inside their own half, with the score tied, and this game very much in the balance here at a goal apiece. It's been a really commendable display so far from Ireland. They've had to work ever so hard. That early breakthrough from the penalty spot, Cody Gakpo on the spin there, and now it's with Daniel Mallon, and Mallon driving forward inside the area, right inside of the area, right across the face of goal, the driven shot. Well, it was a marvellous save from Gavin Bazunu with his outstretched right boot. It looked like he was going to try and just pull it back, but Daniel Mallon went for goal. He's in terrific form for Borussia Dortmund. 3 goals in the opening 4 games, and for the second time in the match he's been denied.
Yeah, a little bit surprised he got the shot off again. The Dutch working that inside right channel again. Mallon driving in there. Was an acute angle again, probably similar to his shot earlier. That type of range and decent contact with it. Gavin Bazunu just extended that right leg out. It's a good save. Wiefer
for the Dutch, just inside the Irish half, off to Denzel Dumfries on the right hand side, and Wiefer back to Matthias de Ligt on a lovely evening for football. It really is t-shirt weather at the moment. Conditions absolutely ideal. A lot of rain, of course, around it earlier, and thunderstorms, which of course delayed the Horizon Irish Open a little earlier. What a sporting weekend it has been, with Vincent Norman of Sweden winning the Horizon Irish Open. Aidan O'Brien clocking up his 4,000th winner, as the yellow card has been brandished to Chidozie Agbene. Irish under-21s with that marvellous win on Friday night. Irish rugby team off to a fire with 12 tries against Romania yesterday, and of course medals at the World Championships as well. It's been quite a sporting weekend, and can the Irish football team just round it off?
No, cherry on top, Adrian.
Wouldn't it?
Cherry on top, yeah, undoubtedly.
Well, 3 minutes to go to half time here. The Dutch have the free kick after that yellow card picked up by Chidozie Agbene, and it will be Dilly Blint to swing it in left-footed towards the edge of the area, and Ireland managed to deal with it. The ball breaks, but Denzel Dumfries gets there ahead of Nathan Collins, and the Dutch have it now with Wiefer. Plays the ball into a central midfield position, picked up by Frankie de Jong. De Jong, who has won a Spanish League and Cup double after winning the League and Cup double with his old club Ajax of Amsterdam. Flecken under pressure from the crowd here. They're giving the jeers. De Ligt to Dumfries. That's a poor ball from Denzel Dumfries, and John Egan picks it up, and now it's Alan Brown who has possession, goes raiding forward. A lot of space for Alan Brown, just ran into trouble in the shape of Cody Gakpo, who wins it back, and Gakpo now on the counter for the Dutch. He's got support to his left hand side from Daley Blint, but instead it's Xavi Simons on the right hand side, and now Simons to deliver the cross into the penalty area, but away by John Egan, only as far as the edge of the area, but poor control there by Cody Gakpo, and Ireland have possession.
Yeah, most of the problems we've had, Adrian, when we've been in possession and around the kind of halfway line, and we've given up the ball. Did it there, Alan Brown driving forward, just kind of ran out of ideas a little bit. Gakpo took the ball off him, and then there's spaces in behind us. We saw that in the lead up to the Dutch penalty kick, in comfortable possession, give up the ball 3-4 seconds later. Dumfries is 1v1 with Gavin Bazunu. He's got to be so careful in possession, got to be wary of the fact we just don't turn over the ball in those situations. We've got to make sure our defensive setup's right. Even if we do give it away, we've got enough players behind the ball.
Here's Xavi Simons for Denzel Dumfries, wide right position, an opportunity perhaps for the Dutch to deliver across here. Dumfries trying to work it on to his right. James McLean defends that situation really well. It breaks at Simons, and the snapshot from the edge of the area drifts high over the crossbar, and Xavi Simons looking for the lead goal for the Dutch, playing his football these days in the Bundesliga with Leipzig on loan for Paris Saint-Germain. Met it sweetly, but just over the top.
Yeah, game's really in the balance at the moment. Adrian, is a fascinating game. We've had a huge amount of joy by being brave, taking our game probably 20-30 yards higher up the pitch than what we've seen previously. We forced errors from the Dutch. They've looked uncomfortable. It's got us the opening goal, got us some great situations high up the pitch. But when the Dutch have kind of played through that press, Adrian, played in behind us, they do carry a threat. And Gakpo in particular gets on the ball. Malin's making some good runs down the sides of our back three. They certainly do look dangerous, although brittle at times defensively.
Well, the Dutch all in orange, as you'd expect. Oranje as a Mark Flecken. Well, not for the first time. It's a poor kick out. 3 additional minutes to be added on at the end of the opening 45 minutes at the Aviva Stadium. It's been an absorbing and compelling contest between these two nations. Ireland going toe-to-toe with the Netherlands. Quarter-finalists at the World Cup in Qatar just before Christmas. Beaten on penalties, of course, by Argentina. A nation with such a rich tradition in terms of football. Here's Frankie de Jong, who likes to make them tick in the centre of midfield. Wiefer, who's on a yellow card now, like Chidozie Ogbene. Nathan Ake out to Daley Blind as the Dutch try to build something down that left-hand flank. Back to Frankie de Jong, ever willing to get on the ball. Play just a little static at the moment. De Jong has possession. Wiefer gets on it just inside the Irish half, and he rolls it out to Daley Blind in that left wing back position just inside the Irish half. And now de Jong has possession. Adamida is goal side at the moment. De Jong does a full 360 and just threads a short pass to Wiefer, who slides it forward to Xavi Simons. Plays the ball inside the area. He was looking for Daniel Malin, but James McLean is there to take charge for Ireland. And the left footed clearance straight to Wiefer, and Wiefer, who is stretching, only gifted possession back to Ireland. Now it's Alan Brown, a lot of space on Ireland's right hand side. Now as Brown charges forward, he's got Matt Doherty on the overlap. Ida just on the edge of the area at the moment. Chidozie Ogbene making a darting run out towards the corner flag, and he's been picked out here. Nathan Ake sticking with him. Ogbene working it back now to Alan Brown. Ogbene has possession, far side of the pitch, rolls it back to Matt Doherty. Doherty into a central position now for Josh Cullen. Now it's the turn of Ireland to retain possession. Duffy back to Nathan Collins, and Collins off Brentford. He'd love to score a goal tonight, of course, against his Brentford colleague Mark Flecken. And in the end, though, it's a poor ball, and the ball eventually drifts out of play on the far side, and the Dutch get themselves a throw-in. We're in the second minute of additional time here at the end of the first half.
I just thought we missed an opportunity there, Adrian. Alan Brown broke out. Matt Doherty looking to support him, not getting there quick enough. It was a little bit too slow pace for me. Would have liked to see him drive forward a little bit quicker. There was a chance there to break, just a little bit too slow. Recycled the ball, came back to the halfway line. Eventually Nathan Collins kicked it out.
Xavi Simons has possession for the Dutch in the final minute of the first half. Dumfries to Simons, a little give and go, but too much on the return pass. Dumfries was never getting there. The ball drifts out of play, and Ireland get themselves a goal kick. We're almost at half time, just a little under 30 seconds to go. And Gavin Bazoum, this time not in any great hurry to take the restart, but it's been quite a first half. What have you made of it overall, Kenny?
Yeah, well, I think it's fair in terms of the scoreline. Like I said, the boys will take great encouragement going in at half time, and sure be very positive inside the dressing room. But also, like I said, the Dutch have caused us problems when they got into our last thirds of the pitch. Simons in particular and Gakpo, they're playing at those kind of number 10 positions, that kind of box shape in behind Malin. Simmons causes problems in relation to the equalising goal, so just got to be wary of that one. But overall, generally speaking, from the get-go, fantastic performance, great attitude. Tactically, I think we've been spot on. Probably a little bit unfortunate, maybe a little bit of frustration that we haven't added to the single goal that we've got.
Yep, 2 penalties, the tail of the first half. It's been a great contest to watch. Ireland won, Netherlands won. Adamida for the early penalty for Ireland. Cody Gakpo with a penalty for the Dutch after 19 minutes. Damien and the panel on the way after the break.
And you're very welcome back to the programme. We are here until 10 o'clock with coverage of the Republic of Ireland against Netherlands in this Euro 2024 qualifier. Decides level a goal apiece at half-time. Adamida with a penalty in the 4th minute. Cody Gakpo with the equaliser also from the penalty spot in the 19th. minute. Keith Tracy, Pat Fenlon are alongside me here in level 5 of the Aviva Stadium. Keith, we talked earlier before the game about what we wanted to see from this Irish team in terms of energy, in terms of intensity, in terms of bringing the game to the Dutch tonight. We've pretty much seen it all. We couldn't have asked for much more. Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted, Damien, from the start. We wanted to try and put the Dutch on the back foot, hardy them all over the pitch. Really, really high press, really brave from Stephen Kenny, as Kenny has alluded to in commentary. We are trying to press really, really high, and once or twice Alan Brown has nicked the ball and we should be hitting the back of the net. We're winning the ball on the edge of the Dutch 18-yard box, but we're getting a little bit muddled in our thinking after we win it. We just need to be a little bit clearer. Such good chances, but when the Dutch do manage to play through us, all of a sudden when they play through the force press, there's so much space all over the pitch. Gakpo starting to pick it up, starting to pull the strings, and Bazunu's ended up making 2 very good saves off of Malin running through as well. But it's been it's really, really tight, Damien. There's not a lot in this game, but when we are pressing so high, we're leaving McLean and Duffy 1v1 with Malin and Gakpo, and if the Dutch can play through that press, we're in big trouble. And in the olden days, Pat, we talk about a team's ability to break quickly. Now we talk about the transitions. We've seen the Dutch, like both of you have pointed that out, that we could be badly exposed if Holland go back to front very, very quickly. Yeah, I think the couple of chances that we've given away, 2 or 3, has probably been our own, giving the ball away sloppy in midfield or staying on it too long and being robbed, being pinched. And just with the way they're playing with Simmons and Gakpo, they're nearly playing as 2-10s, coming in playing behind the striker. So Shape has to dictate that as well, that we, maybe give up the wide areas in defensive and defend that a little bit narrower when we do give the ball away a little bit quicker, get in and be nice and compact. But listen, the performance has been really good. The setup of the team, when they've had the ball, we've pinched it 3 or 4 times. We've had 2 really good chances that we probably should have taken, but Holland, they'll continue to do it because that's in their DNA. That's what they'll try to do, is continue to play out. They'll think we'll play out and we'll keep going through. So I think we'll get other chances again down that right hand side. We've given them all sorts of problems. Matt Doherty's used the ball well high up the pitch. A couple of times he's come into midfield and given it away cheaply by Ida and Ogbenye, giving them problems, all sorts of problems down the side as well. Even Virgil van Dijk doesn't look comfortable at the moment. The keeper, the crowd have got after the keeper as well, so he's now skying things into the crowd as well. Even though his passing's being poured into his own players, he's miscued a few now into the stand. So they are rattled at the back, there's no doubt about that. We look at it, Weghorst is doing a very extensive warm-up. He's just gone back down the tunnel. There's 2 players doing very extensive warm-ups from the Dutch perspective, but have been called back into the dressing room. You wouldn't be surprised if they switched to a 4 for the second half, just to solidify things somewhat. I think they might look at that because they're getting so much problems down their left hand side. Maybe they'll go with a left back down there and just try to tighten up. The other thing is we need to be aware of, they maybe make a couple of changes at half time. This is very similar 11 that's played in France as well, and it's they worked ever so hard in France to stay in the game. They've worked really hard tonight as well, so substitutions for us is going to be key. But I wouldn't be surprised if they switched in the last game back into a 3, and it's worked for them obviously against Greece, but we've given them bigger problems down that side of the centre, 2 outside centre halves, so maybe they might look at maybe going into back into a 4-3-3 system, but we'll see. But they'll still try play out, they'll still have that, they'll want to try play through the middle, but we just need to be careful in that area behind their midfielders that are back forward and not off the game. Our midfielders give the ball away and the spaces to exploit, but the performance has been really good. Are we lucky to have 11 men on the pitch? In a word, Damien, I think Bazunu, obviously. When Gakpo turns on the halfway line and he starts running, as he plays Dumfries through, it's a lovely weighted ball, brilliant run from Dumfries, and he takes it past Bazunu on the penalty spot. He has a free net just to pass the ball into, and as they're coming together, for me, look, if we're looking at it not through Irish eyes, I think it's a red card all day long. If we're looking at it through Irish eyes, well played, referee. Yeah, you called it straight out. Actually, the referee has nearly been your man of the match because early on he let everything go. It was like watching you and Daly Mail back in the day. I think that's where the game has flowed. He let a couple of tackles go early on, and then he couldn't really book anybody because he let them go. And he's missed a few things, but I think he's helped develop the game. Both teams are having a right go at each other. It's a really good game to watch. It's really outside of being a fan, it's a really good game to watch. Both sides, like I say, trying to play. But I think he's reffed the game okay. It suits us. I think it suits us to let stuff like that go, because you've seen James McLean early on leave a bit on Dumfries, and he's got rattled. We've brought it tonight in ways absolutely. We haven't brought it other nights. Absolutely. A couple of things. We talk about the accuracy, particularly when you're playing against players who we perceive to be of a greater level of quality. Matt Doherty, couple of sloppy headers, particularly the one that allowed them to go through and get the penalty. Liverpool got absolutely lambasted a couple of years ago for bringing in a throw-in coach. We look at it tonight. That thing about primary possession, using your own set pieces and restarts as an opportunity to determine the platform that you're going to play off. The two of you have been doing your nut, particularly down this side of the pitch, that we've given away so many sloppy possessions.
Yeah, look, if we have a throw in deep in our own half, you know, if we can play out, if they're going to drop into a mid block or a low block and we can play out comfortably, then by all means play out comfortably. If the press is really tight and they're trying to nick it, then that's a weapon for the Dutch. They have us pinned in, they're trying to nick the ball, then why not we used to just try and get free, throw the ball at about hip height and we just volley it down the pitch up to the big lads. But we would know that was coming, so we would commit bodies to that, knowing that it was happening. And if everybody's on the same wavelength, there's no problem in doing that, because you're just nullifying the Dutch threat. And one of our biggest threats through Alan Brown has been going and winning the ball. We're getting the ball out wide, we're putting it in, we're looking really, really dangerous. But our biggest threat is when Alan Brown goes full tongue after the young. And look, we should have probably hit the back of the net 3 times.
He looks really comfortable tonight, Alan.
He does, but the one thing with Alan is when he goes after the ball, he doesn't go in thinking, what happens if I get beat here? Because he's so athletic and he's so quick that he can recover the other side. Now, if it's Gakpo, he's probably not going to recover, but generally he will get back in and he'll get another bite at you. So when he goes to press, he's not afraid about what's behind him.
Yeah, what he's done, he's pressed the ball on the edge of the box really well. When the Dutch have tried to play it, he's the one that's gone to press on and robbed the back twice. I think that's okay high up the pitch, because he's got Cullen behind him. It's the one where he's the last man and he goes into press. That's the one he's got to stand off the game and say, okay, I've nothing behind me, I've no protection. And that's the one we're talking about, where Gakpo and Simmons are in behind, and if he goes in there and presses the ball and we lose it, then we've got a problem. But defensive minded for me in that position. Like I said, we want the same. Will the players have the energy to give us the same? That's the question for me, and that's when it opens up a little bit. So I think the substitutes are massive in that regard.
And if it comes down to a battle of the bench, it could well be advantage to the Dutch. Much more to come from Pat and Keith. The Irish squad are going through their warm-ups and fitness regimes at half-time. It's like watching Greco-Roman wrestling there. Do you ever do stuff like that when you were doing warm-up sessions? Like they were, you know?
No, never.
No.
The most I got was the bands where you do all the fast twitch fibres and all that stuff. I can see you in them, yeah.
They went out in my day.
Yeah, they weren't invented. 36 minutes gone in the game between Wales and Fiji in Pool C of the Rugby World Cup. It's been a bit of a seesaw battle, a ding-dong battle. Wales leading 18 points to 14 in the 36th minute there. And as we told you earlier on, Sweden's Vincent Norman winning the Horizon Irish Open. 14 under par, one shot clear of the field. Shane Lowry back on 12 under in a tie for third place. The best of the Irish. The Republic of Ireland and Holland 1-1 at half-time. Much more coverage to come. Stay with us. If you look at the group, it's France 15 points from 5 games. Greece, by virtue of their 2-0 lead over Gibraltar, second on 9. Netherlands 7 points with 4 games played. So Keith Tracy, we're still, 5 points off automatic qualification. So a draw here tonight, while we might say on paper it's a great result, if we have ambitions of qualifying, we need to go on and win this game.
Yeah, I think it's a must win, really, Damien. And we're competing well, we're doing really, really well, but we need a result, and I don't mean a result in terms of a draw any other day of the week against the Dutch. It's a fabulous result, but given the loss against the Greeks, this is a must win for us. We really stood on our own toes against the Greeks, so we have to make up for it, and making up for it is the Dutch at home. And it's a huge task, but given how we played in the first half, it's still in the balance.
Pat, just before we go back to Adrian and Kenny, we talked about the tactical aspects of things. To talk about the psychological, again, our undoing in France was an early goal in the second half. If you're Stephen Kenny, do you address that with the squad? How do you tackle that without letting it seep in as something that they're overly conscious of?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had too many of them now, and like you say, you've got a crowd here. The last thing we need is to concede a goal here at home, because the crowd will get deflated. They're right behind us, so we've got to give them something like we did at the start of the first half. Get after them high up the pitch, nice and early, and get the crowd involved in the game still.
Just before we hand back to the lads, Virgil van Dijk has been booed pretty much the whole way through the game. I can't quite understand why, because if Liverpool were here, this game would be a sellout straight away. A young lad, the biggest display of pace we've seen was 2 kids came out of the far side stand, and Van Dijk basically walked off the pitch with him. There's now a young lad on the pitch who's got selfies with Van Dijk, and he's got selfies with one of the other Dutch players as well. So poor old Virgil now, the abuse he's getting in the first half, he's not letting it get in the way of his manners. Anyway, The scene is set for the second half. We do have changes for the Dutch. Let's rejoin Kenny Cunningham and Adrian Eames.
Yeah, we do indeed. And that young man will very shortly be up looking for a selfie with Kenny Cunningham, I would imagine. That big course is coming on, so they're going for brute force up front. So that big course is on, and so too is Tijani Reinders for the Dutch. And Mats Wiefer, who picked up a yellow card during the course of the first half, is one of the Dutch players sacrificed. And the other one, Kenny will tell us.
Blind, that's no surprise to anybody. No surprise to anybody. It was a real kind of struggle for Blind out of possession first half, so Koeman's done exactly the right thing and rectified that. Interesting to see if the Dutch will go to an orthodox back four with Ake filling in a left back potentially. Reinders will just go straight into a kind of central midfield area alongside De Jong.
Well, I'm sure both managers had plenty to say at half-time. Ronald Koeman's Dutch side out for the second half. They know the importance of a win here in Dublin in terms of what it'll mean in the group. Damien just run through the state of play in terms of the group, so it's a big game for them, for the Dutch this evening in terms of qualification. Obviously for Ireland too, we need a win to keep alive any lingering hopes of qualification despite the damage done in Athens in the early part of the summer. It's the Dutch who have a throw-in on the far side to be taken by Denzel Dumfries. Ronald Koeman, of course, part of that squad that won the Euros back in 1988, that memorable tournament. Of course, they knocked out Ireland with that wicked bouncing ball, which just squirted past Packy Bonner. That dashed Irish hopes after all the joy of Stuttgart and what have you. There have been many great encounters down through the years. Tijani Reinders trying to open up something here for the Dutch. Cody Gakpo caught in possession under pressure from Matt Doherty, and now Ireland on the edge of their own area. And it's worked back by Alan Brown and cleared away, but only as far as Nathan Ake. The Dutch really picking up the pace at the start of the second half, knocking the ball around very sweetly indeed. And now it's back with Virgil van Dijk, but certainly defensively the Dutch have been under a lot of pressure from Ireland in the first half, but they're trying to stamp their authority on this match in the second half now. The early stages, of course, so much of the talk post-Paris was obviously about Ireland coughing up goals in the second half of games, how it's become something of a trend. So I think Stephen Kenny, that if he had said anything at half time, I'm sure that was part of it. Just remain switched on and focused for the start of the second half, lads.
Yeah, interesting tackling. The Dutch looks as if they've gone to that flat back four. Gapco's going to operate off the left. Malin going to go from that central striking position out to the right, and Siemens is going to be asked to play almost as a 10. Adrian just in behind Weghorst, almost like 4-4, 1-1.
Yeah, so Wout Weghorst, who scored like Cody Gakpo during the course of the week, is on for the second half. Weghorst, of course, shot to prominence really with those 2 goals against Argentina in that memorable World Cup clash back in Qatar in December. Weghorst, who of course was at Manchester United, he's currently at Hoffenheim on loan from Burnley. Didn't score a Premier League goal for Manchester United, but did manage 2, one in the Premier League and also scored in the Carabao Cup. Ball is sent forward now to Adam Ida for Ireland, and certainly the Dutch aware of the threat posed by Adam Ida and of course by Chidozie Akpenu, as Matthias de Ligt, who got in the challenge to dispossess the Irishman, but it'll be a throw in for the Republic of Ireland on the far side, just in line with the edge of the area, to be taken by James McLean, who came on at half time in Paris for the injured Enda Stevens, who had a pretty torrid time dealing with Ousmane Dembélé in the course of the first half, but Stevens ruled out through injury this evening, as indeed as Will Keane. Interestingly, Sinclair Armstrong was called up as on the bench this evening for Ireland. The ball is delivered into the area and the keeper under pressure rather flapped at it. Alan Brown was ready to pounce, and Flecken, perhaps a relieved man, the crowd not too happy with the decision of the referee toward the free kick.
Yeah, Jason Knight doing really well down the left hand side, just swivels and dinks it into the 6-yard box. Shane Duffy's entitled to go for that with the goalkeeper. I don't see a huge amount wrong with it myself, but generally speaking, Adrian, if you make any type of contact with the goalkeeper, they're going to get penalised in the modern game. Just got to suck that one up.
So it's the Dutch who have possession on the far side with Denzel Dumfries. Neat passing as they try to engineer a move down the right hand side. Xavi Siemens is beaten by Nathan Collins, and he drives forward just inside the Dutch half under pressure from Wout Weghorst, who does really well to get back at Nathan Collins and win it back. And now the break is off for the Dutch, and Xavi Siemens is raiding forward. He's got Cody Gakpo to his left hand side. It's teed up here. A rather tame effort from Wout Weghorst, lacked any sort of conviction from the edge of the area, and Ireland happy just to hammer it clear in the direction of Adam Ida. Ida under pressure from Virgil van Dijk. The bouncing ball favours Adam Ida on this occasion, but he's outnumbered, and it's the Dutch who have it back with Frankie de Jong, and de Jong, the Barcelona midfield maestro, just threads it forward now And it's with Daniel Mallon, who had those two big chances for the Dutch in the first half, repelled on both occasions by the vigilant Gavin Bazunu of Southampton, the man from Furhouse in County Dublin. The Dutch, though, just beginning to boss this second half. Nathan Ake has it on the left-hand side. Threads it short now to Tijani Reinders, who made his debut as a sub off the bench on Thursday night in Eindhoven. Off to Nathan Ake.
Yeah, he's looked sharp. Reinders coming on first few touches, drove forward a couple of times, but again our problems giving the ball away. Nathan Collins stepping forward into the opposition half, getting the ball taken off, and then big gaps in behind. Midfield caught wrong side, and immediately the Dutch to the edge of our penalty box. And if it hadn't been for Gapco overhitting the ball back to Veghorst, who couldn't sort his feet out quickly enough, we would have been in a bit of trouble.
Here's Xavi Simons on the edge of the area, rolls it back to Nathan Ake. The Dutch trying to press Ireland back. Cody Gakpo, the scorer of the equalising penalty for the Dutch, rolls it back to Frankie de Jong. And now it's Gakpo once again of Liverpool. And there are two Dutch players in the wide right position. The threat is posed here. The ball is delivered into the area. And Ireland just rocking a little here as the Dutch retain control of the ball, as they just push Ireland back defensively. And the Dutch start to build once again with Tijani Reinders out to the right hand side. Plenty of movement and plenty of bodies inside the area. Van Veghorst waits inside the area. Now Daniel Mallon getting involved, back with Frankie de Jong, and de Jong back to Matthias de Ligt inside the Irish half, out to Nathan Ake, the Dutch left hand side. Down the line now for Cody Gakpo. Dutch supporters in the Havelock Square end of the ground for this game, and they've travelled in big numbers, and they present quite a sight, all in orange. Way to our left hand side, plenty in green of course, and they've been roaring on the team in green out of the pitch here this evening, the Republic of Ireland, who had a very fine first half after that breakthrough goal in the fourth minute. The penalty now. Here's a chance for Xavi Simons, and as he went to pull the trigger, he was had his pocket picked by the very vigilant and alert Corkman in the shape of Alan Brown, who just got a...
It's a goal-saving tackle, Adrian. It's as simple as that. Sims about the side foot into the back of the net. Brilliant play from the Dutch. Mallon coming off the flank there into the pocket. No Irish player knowing what to do. Who's going to deal with him? Some lovely one-touch play, and like I said, brilliant tackle from Brown at the end of it.
But they've got themselves a corner kick as a result. The Dutch looking for the lead goal here. It's an outswinger towards the edge of the area. Shane Duffy was rising, and the ball drops into the arms of Gavin Bazunu. He was under pressure as he gathered it in, but unfazed. And Bazunu dealt with that situation, and he bowled it out to Ireland's right hand side for Matt Doherty. Chidozie Ogbene, who picked up a yellow card in the first half, has possession, just feeds a short pass to Matt Doherty. A lovely return pass now for Chidozie Ogbene. Adam Ida just ambling up towards the edge of the area, and Xavi Simons with a challenge which will result in a free kick. And I think some of the Irish players, and certainly Jason Knight, is having a word with the referee. He feels there should be a yellow card there for Xavi Simons.
It's clever play from Ogbene. He had nowhere to go really, hadn't got an option on his inside. He knew Simons was coming close to make the tackles. He just shifted the ball, Adrian, at the last second, waiting for the contact, and wins Ireland a free kick. That's important because we penned in a little bit the opening 7 minutes of the second half in our own half. Nice to get a break to get the free kick and commit a few players into the box here.
Yeah, and John O'Shea was just having a word with the fourth official below us. It is an Ireland free kick to be taken from the right hand side, just about 30 metres or so from the corner flag. It's in just almost in line with the edge of the area. Alan Brown is over it, so too is James McLean. Two with the Dutch wall, Daniel Mallon and Xavi Simons. And it'll be James McLean left-footed to swing it in, and it's a terrific delivery. And that Veghorst back defending gets his head to it, but Ireland will have a throw-in to be taken by James McLean. And now the crowd in the south stand in particular getting behind the Irish team. Now McLean thought better of taking the throw-in, so he's going to go back to his defensive position. Matt Doherty will take, and now the cries of Ireland go up around the Aviva Stadium. In the 54th minute, Ireland 1, Netherlands 1 in this Euro 2024 qualifier. A game on special on this Sunday evening in September on 2FM. Doherty to take the throw-in. Been encouraged to get on with it by the referee, and it's a long throw-in. Nathan Ake got something on it, and Xavi Simons just balloons the ball into the air. It'll drop for Van Veghorst, and he calmly just cushions the ball in the path of Xavi Simons, but Ireland win it back, but illegally so, much to the frustration of Jason Knight, who's certainly been getting in the ear of the referee. But it's a free kick for the Dutch inside the centre circle. And they try to take it quickly, but the referee is now speaking with Alan Brown. Ireland just getting a little frustrated. Frankie de Jong plays it forward, and Xavi Simons not picked up here, and he drives forward. Wout Weghorst with the layoff, and Matt Doherty calmly rolls it back to Gavin Bazunu. Takes a touch, closed down by Wout Weghorst, but gets it away, Bazunu. And a poor touch by Nathan Ake, and that means an Irish throw-in. Adamida thought about the quick one, but instead just works it back to Josh Cullen. Oh, that's a nameless ball from Josh Cullen, gifting possession back to the Dutch inside the centre circle. Now it's with Frankie de Jong, and de Jong does well to fend off one challenge. Rolls it off to Nathan Ake as the Dutch try to assert control once again. De Jong on the spin, off to Reinders, and Reinders, who plays his football in Serie A with AC Milan. Not too bad when you can bring on a player from Milan off the bench. Bring on a player like Reinders for the second half. And now Jason Knight feeds it down the line, Ireland's left hand side, but the Dutch win it back quickly once again. Ireland now need to regain their composure as the Dutch threaten with Xavi Simons. Daniel Mallon getting involved. Wout Weghorst waits for the delivery inside the area, but Ireland managed to defend it, but they're under pressure here from the Dutch, Kenny.
Oh, it's far better from the Dutch, moving the ball quickly, 1-2 touch.
Ball lifted over the top, and Ireland could be exposed. Weghorst is there to score from close range. Wout Weghorst, 10 minutes into the second half, makes no mistake.
Goal for the Netherlands.
Ireland 1, Netherlands 2.
Hoping VAR's going to give us a dig out here, Adrian, in terms of the run from Dumfries. He's done this a couple of times already, second half. The Dutch playing the ball on the inside, then Dumfries, the right back, just drives in behind, looking for that ball to be popped over the top, in behind James McLean. Nobody tracked the run. Like I was saying, I'm hoping it's going to be offside. May not be the case, but he's done brilliant after that. Dumfries just headed it back across the 6-yard box, and give Weghorst a bit of credit. He is on, looks as if he is onside. Shane Duffy in the middle of the pitch there, maybe just keeping him on. We spoke about Weghorst's goal scoring record for Manchester United, Adrian, but that was great centre forward play. He was actually in behind the Irish defender there in the centre of the goal, anticipates it's going to be headed to that near post, gets across Shane Duffy and just side foots it inside the far corner. It's a brilliantly constructed goal from the Dutch, but I'd have to say they've probably earned it off the basis of the first 10 minutes, opening 10 minutes of the second half. They've been really on it. The changes Koeman has made, to give him credit, it's really helped the team. The defensive structure looks better, carrying more of a threat now going forward, but generally just moving the ball quicker, Adrian, causing us a lot more problems.
So the Dutch in front at the Aviva Stadium, and all of Ireland's good work undone early in the second half. I know they'll talk about Ireland coughing up early second half goals. This one coming 11 minutes into the second half. Pat Fenlon.
Yeah, it's a bad blow for us, and they started the second half really well. They changed their formation and gone into that flat back four, and they dominated the ball since the start of the second half, and they cut us open that time. Good run, great header back in, a really good finish. I just think we look a little bit leggy now. I said at half time I'd be concerned with a lot of the players that have played in the game, and maybe it might be time for one or two fresh legs, particularly in that midfield area.
Well, the Dutch waiting for, we'll get the thoughts of Keith in just a moment. Denzel Dumfries has it in the wide right position. Well, the Dutch will try and retain control of the ball and dictate matters. It's with Frankie de Jong. He's been more involved in the second half than for much of the opening period of the match. Back with Virgil van Dijk. And the team in orange with their noses in front at the Aviva Stadium. Nathan Ake has possession. Ireland dropping deep defensively again at the moment, with that Frankie de Jong out to Dumfries in the wide right position. Tijani Reinders of AC Milan strokes it to in the direction of Frankie de Jong, who allows the ball to bypass him. Nathan Ake feeds it wide now to Cody Gakpo, faced by Matt Doherty. Gakpo for Xavi Simons. He's very fleet-footed, Xavi Simons. Nathan Ake's attempt across is poor, and Alan Brown is there to clear Irish lines, but the Dutch have it back straight away. Virgil van Dijk trying to keep it in play, sends it down the line, looking for Nathan Ake. He's almost at the corner flag, the defender. And the Dutch, as we mentioned, going with that flat back four for the second half, and they've taken control of the match, and they lead by 2-1. Dumfries with the setup, Wout Weghorst with a close range finish. He did really well to apply the finish. He was under pressure, but he just guided the ball into the back of the net, and Gavin Bazunu powerless to prevent the Dutch from taking the lead. Frankie de Jong under pressure from Alan Brown, sends it all the way back to Matthias de Ligt first time. On for Denzel Dumfries, and Dumfries takes a touch, and now it's with Reinders. Back with Matthias de Ligt. De Jong just making himself available to receive the pass, so too is Xavi Simons on halfway. De Jong inside the centre circle, and De Jong again controlling the ball and dictating for the Dutch. And that's the Liverpool maestro himself, Virgil van Dijk, who tries to orchestrate now for the Dutch. Out to Dumfries on the right hand side. Simons getting on the ball once again. Xavi Simons. De Jong. Ireland just dropping off it at the moment. Content to allow the Dutch have possession of the ball. And that can be a dangerous game, of course. Simons to Dumfries. Oh, that's a misplaced pass from Xavi Simons. Straight to Adam Ida on halfway. And now Doherty just slides it forward. Ida on Ireland's right hand side, forced to send it back though to Nathan Collins, and Ireland with possession deep inside their own half. So we've played almost 15 minutes of the second half. Keith Tracy, your impressions now?
Yeah, I think the Dutch look an awful lot better. They've took Daley Blind off for Wout Weghorst, and Weghorst now is just keeping Collins, Egan and Duffy all busy, and one of the three centre halves is dropping in with Xavi Simons, and when Weghorst is keeping the other two busy, they're getting some penetration in behind. And although Duffy 1v1 with Weghorst is probably a better matchup than he is against Mallon, Weghorst knows what he's doing. He's dragging people all over the place and they're getting penetration in behind. So the Dutch are starting to look very, very comfortable out there now.
And they have possession with their goalkeeper, Mark Flecken. And Flecken just slowing things down, and that's just getting the crowd a little irked here at the Aviva Stadium. And it's sent forward by Virgil van Dijk, a sweeping crossfield ball out to that right hand side. Daniel Mallon brought the ball under control. It might work out. Xavi Simons is there, teed up by Mallon for Cody Gakpo on the edge of the area. Now Xavi Simons just feeds it wide. Dumfries plenty of time to take a touch and measure up his cross here, and the attempted cross is poor but superbly blocked nonetheless by James McLean for Ireland. Frankie de Jong has it now, central position, 45 metres out from goal. And again, no pressure on the man in possession at the moment. Ireland just dropping off. Nathan Ake has it now for the Dutch. Rolls it out to the left-hand side as they try to threaten once again. Dictating at the moment, the Dutch, with Cody Gakpo. And now Reinders playing it out to Denzel Dumfries on the Netherlands right-hand side. Reinders, left-footed pass to Nathan Ake. And the Manchester City man retains possession. Now Reinders very keen to get involved. He's one of the new crop of players in Dutch football, Tijani Reinders, away from one challenge. Bringing it up here now for Cody Gakpo, 35 metres out from goal. And now Denzel Dumfries. Dumfries faced by James McLean, who's just inside the area. So too now is Denzel Dumfries, and the pullback right across the area. And you can hear the ooze from the Dutch supporters behind the goal. That really could have ended up in the back of the Irish net. Shane Duffy perhaps relieved to execute the clearance in the end.
Oh, it's great play from Dumfries, taking James McLean on the outside and forward, and a wicked ball across the 6-yard box. It was good defending from Shane Duffy to get it away, but looking a little bit fatigued, Adrian, at the moment. The players a little bit kind of downbeat, just the kind of body language. Might need a little bit of help from the bench soon.
Well, the ball is it ran loose inside the area. Matt Doherty eventually comes away with it and clips it forward. Now Chidozie Agbene in a foot race here with Matthias de Ligt, and de Ligt gets there first and sends it back to the man all in purple, Mark Flecken, who drills it downfield. Shane Duffy under the dropping ball and indeed under pressure from Wout Weghorst did really well to execute the header. Well, the Dutch have it once again with Daniel Mallon. Now Frankie de Jong on the turn just inside the Irish half, rolls it out to this near side to Nathan Ake. Cody Gakpo down the line, Simons through the middle, Weghorst on the edge of the area. But it's Frankie de Jong at almost standing pace at the moment for the Dutch. Off to Nathan Ake to his left hand side. Ake now has support from Xavi Simons, and Simons back to Frankie de Jong, and then working to try and win it back. Pressure being applied by Jason Knight, who's terrier-like, trying to apply the pressure on the Dutchman. And now Virgil van Dijk with another one of those big switches out to the right hand side, but a poor touch results in a goal kick. Daniel Mallon unable to just get the ball under his spell, and there will be an Irish change here.
Substitution for Republic
of Ireland. Manning, who's about to come on. Ryan Manning to come on for James McLean.
Yeah.
So fresh legs, and youthful legs at that.
Yeah, I can understand that. James McLean up against Mallon there at the start of this kind of second half. Not easy for James in those situations at this stage of his career. He found that out against Kingsley Coleman last 20 minutes in the game in Paris. It's a big ask for him. James, huge warrior for Ireland, wholehearted player, gives absolutely everything, but I think it's the right substitution at the moment. Hopefully Ryan Manning, very accomplished player, very productive, getting forward as well. Adrian, hopefully we can get him the ball, he can keep hold of it, maybe get us up the pitch a little bit more.
Sent forward by Alan Brown towards Adam Ida. The ball breaks in favour of Ireland as they try to build up a head of steam. Despite running out of steam, it would appear, but they have possession now with Jason Knight, the hard-working Jason Knight. Alan Brown on the overlap, and that was the decoy run. Jason Knight now to deliver the cross. It's a pull back towards the penalty spot, and an Irish player goes down inside the area. Play on, says the referee. Oh, despite the strong appeals, Chidozie Ogbene going down inside the area. He's on a yellow card, of course. Now the referee's going to sound the whistle. There will be a VAR check here, Kenny.
Yeah, the Irish players are very adamant. Chidozie Ogbene had been kind of pushed in the back. There's a little bit of contact there. Virgil van Dijk, he throws his left arm out. Got to be careful there. I think you're entitled to put your hand on the player's back, all right, but can't impart too much force in it. I don't think there's enough there personally myself to warrant the penalty. But good to see us get across into the box. Jason Knight done great, Adrian, down the right hand side, dropped his shoulder, drove forward and actually put it into a good area with a few players in there. It's good to see, that's better.
Well, the crowd try to lift the team once again. The ball is played forward, and Adam Ida keeps it alive. It looked like it was a forlorn task at the outset. Now he's been held by Nathan Ake. Works it back now. Matt Doherty driving towards the edge of the area. He goes down again. The referee is unmoved by the claims of the Irish supporters for a free kick. The calls were loud and vociferous. In the end, Ireland eventually get a free kick. This time the decision awarded despite the protest of Frankie de Jong. And it's a free kick for Ireland about 45 metres out from goal, and the crowd are up for it once again.
Yeah, I think the referee's done great there, to be honest with you. Let play go on a couple of occasions when he could have given a free kick. I think that was the right decision. Frankie de Jong barging into the back of Jason Knight. The right decision is a free kick, but before that could have blown the whistle, didn't. It was a great tackle from Ake on the edge of the 18-yard box. He had to get it right. I thought he did.
So Ryan Manning just coming across to get some instructions here from John O'Shea. It'll be an Irish free kick, so they'll swing this one in. The Dutch will set up a mini wall, and there's been a yellow card handed out to Cody Gakpo for his protests at the awarding of this free kick for Ireland. Well, it's some distance out, of course, so it will be swung in by Alan Brown. A line of Dutch players on the edge of the area at the moment. Plenty forward here for Ireland. And Manning has joined Alan Brown for this set piece. Can Ireland draw level at the Aviva? Place will erupt once again if they can. So Manning or Brown to swing it in. Chidozie Ogbene just hanging on the edge of the shoulder of the last man. And it's too deep, the delivery from the free kick, and it goes behind, and that's frustrating from Alan Brown.
Yeah, shame, didn't get it right. Not easy though. Got to totally commit to that one there, generate real good pace on the ball. Just slightly got underneath it, unfortunately. Dutch looking a little bit stronger across the defensive line, defending those set pieces now. Adrian Veghorst comes back 6'4", 6'5". He certainly makes them stronger at defending those set pieces. Probably part of Koeman's thinking when he was bringing them on for this second half.
Yeah, and it looks like the Dutch will make another change very shortly. It may well be Teun Koopmeiners who will be introduced. Indeed, he will be on in the next few moments as Zadie Simons tries to keep the ball alive, but it goes out of play for an Irish throw-in just shy of halfway. So now the change will be made, and Teun Koopmeiners is coming on in place of Daniel Mallon. Mallon, who had two big chances in the first half of the Dutch, and on both occasions superbly denied by Gavin Bazunu in the Irish goal. So, well, that's more of a defensive change made by Ronald Koeman to shore things up as Koopmeiners comes on in place of Daniel Mallon.
Yeah, he's more of an orthodox central midfield player, Koopmeiners. So what you'll see, I think, is Siemens go out to the right hand side. It'll be a front three, and then an orthodox midfield three with Reinders, De Jong and Koopmeiners. So you're right, just kind of shore that up the central midfield area. One more of a naturally central midfield player as opposed to the extra forward, which Mallon clearly was.
Halfway through the second half, and it's Ireland 1, Netherlands 2. So much good work from Ireland in the first half, but it's been a bit of a slow burn in the second half. The official attendance, it of course, was a sellout, so just over 49,000 in attendance at the Aviva Stadium. By the way, Greece still leading against Gibraltar in the night's other game in this group by 2-0. John Egan has possession. Immediately the press comes on from Xavi Simons, so back to Gavin Bazunu. And Bazunu on the edge of his area, right-footed, drills it in the direction of Ogbene. And Ogbene now trying to battle with Matthias de Ligt, and Ogbene just loses out in that particular duel, and it'll be a throw-in on the far side to the Netherlands.
Yeah, just got to try and get a foothold in the game, higher up the pitch. Just Chidozie Ogbene and Adam Ida. Wouldn't mind seeing Ogbene just stay a little bit higher up the pitch, almost as a twin striker with Ida. Just give the lads further down the pitch another target to hit, so we can get a bit more controlled possession of the Dutch half, really getting penned in this second half in their own half. They haven't quite got as much energy, can't get up to the pitch of the ball as quickly, so very comfortable for the Dutch at the moment in possession.
And here is Cody Gakpo driving for Gakpo with a good surging run. Weghorst with the layoff. Tijani Reinders is on to it now. Nathan Ake on the Dutch left hand side, and Reinders into a central position and sent on by Cody Gakpo. Xavi Simons inside the area on the right hand side, threatening and looking very dangerous. Tried the pull back, but Shane Duffy got himself in the way and executed the clearance, and now Ireland will try to counter. Bit of a risky pass played there by Manning on the far side. In fact, it was Doherty. Here's Weghorst. I'll correct myself once again, it was Manning.
It was similar hairstyles, you're right there. The two Irish wing backs at the moment found himself in a difficult situation now, 1v1 against Simmons. He knew all about his pace there, a little bit of injection from Simmons, taken past Manning. Fortune for Ireland, Dutch hadn't committed enough players into the 6-yard box. There was a tap in there for anybody, but yeah, real control of the game at the moment. Dutch, it's not a good situation to be in for Ireland. Bit dispiriting from the players. You're desperate to get on the ball, you're desperate to wrestle back the initiative, but just can't get a touch of the ball.
Here's Cody Gakpo, manages to keep the ball in play, but Ireland have it back. Jason Knight on the spin, Alan Brown with a return pass, all very tight on halfway, but Jason Knight does really well to work it back to Shane Duffy, and now he plays it square, and John Egan will try to get Ireland on the front foot, works it out to that left hand side to Ryan Manning, and now Ireland in control of the ball, and Jason Knight sending it back to John Egan. Egan, captain of Sheffield United these days, and now it's with Shane Duffy, and Duffy has been like a player reborn with Norwich in the Championship this season, hence the recall for this double assignment in Paris and here in Dublin. Egan has it once again, and Egan to Shane Duffy, and Duffy halfway inside the Irish half forward now to Jason Knight, who's working so hard to get on the ball and make himself available. Ball now with that Doherty, sends it down the line for Adam Ida, under pressure from Virgil van Dijk, and the Liverpool man just got a toe to it, but it'll be a corner kick for Ireland.
Yeah, that's far better. Matt Doherty getting the ball in the half line, opening his body up and looking forward out, not sideways or backwards. That was a trigger for Adam Ida to get himself across on the shoulder of Van Dijk, and it was a great race then in behind. Van Dijk struggling a little bit, I thought, there for pace. That'll give Adam Ida a little bit of encouragement, eventually conceding the corner kick, exactly where we want to be.
So Manning on his 7th international appearance for the Republic of Ireland to deliver. Ireland's right hand side, Ireland with plenty of bodies in and around the 6-yard box, so they'll try and hang it in and really test Mark Flecken, the Brentford goalkeeper. Referee's unhappy because there's one or two things going on involving Adam Ida at the moment.
Yeah, Van Dijk's taking a big gamble here, putting his hands on Adam Ida again, Adrian.
So Manning to swing it in here in the 73rd minute. Ireland looking for the leveller, and it's a decent ball in. Flecken gets a hand to it to just push it away, and Ogbene will be content to see it out of play on the far side, and Ireland will have a throw in, and the crowd just beginning to get their voices once again. Ogbene now will leave it for Manning to take a double change, and Will Smallbone is coming on for Ireland, and Jamie McGrath. So John Egan heads off.
At number 8, Alan Brown.
And Alan Brown is the other player going off.
7, Will Smallbone.
So Smallbone and McGrath, Jamie McGrath, on for the remainder of the game. Two players, of course, who didn't feature on Thursday night in Paris, so really fresh legs here, or fresh legs I should say, for the Republic of Ireland at this late point of the game, with just over a quarter of an hour remaining. So we'll see how Ireland rejig themselves, but they have this throw in on the far side to be taken by Manning. Goes short, it's sloppy, and the return pass just drifts out of play, and Jamie McGrath just on with the return pass. And
yeah, just kind of burst the balloon, Adrian, doesn't it? A couple of examples of that first half. We had throw-ins in the last third, just give it away, give the ball away to the opposition, kind of deflates the whole stadium. But I think it's the right substitution. Smallbone and Jamie McGrath will give us a real kind of creative edge in there. Alan Brown was absolutely immense, fantastic, and taking off one of those three centre halves for me is the right thing to do, and get more of an attack-minded player on the pitch.
The Greeks, by the way, have got a third goal against Gibraltar, so the 3 points are safe for the Greeks. As the Netherlands here look for all 3 points in Dublin. Xavi Simons under pressure, the Dutch leading by 2-1. And the ball eventually goes out of play on the far side. And to be fair to the crowd, they've really got behind the team all evening long, and they're trying to get them going once again. Shane Duffy has it halfway inside the Irish half, and Duffy, a rock at the back defensively for Ireland. Off to Nathan Collins, and Collins to Manning on that left hand side. Ireland trying to probe an opening into Josh Cullen, all neat and tidy from Ireland, as that Manning has possession, and Manning all the way back to Shane Duffy. Matt Doherty is available on this near side, but instead it's played to Cullen in the middle, and Duffy just rolls it back now to Gavin Bazunu just outside his area. So just over a quarter of an hour to go. Republic of Ireland trailing by a single goal, 2-1, and the Dutch having turned it around after the shock concession of that penalty so early in the match, converted by Adam Ida. Cody Gakpo with a levelling penalty before Wout Weghorst scored his 7th international goal. Here's Smallbone on the ball inside the centre circle, rolls it forward now for Jamie McGrath. Ogbene on the outside now, Chidozie Ogbene as McGrath continues his run. Cody Gakpo back defending, getting goal side. Ogbene rolls it back now. Matt Doherty delivers the cross, but too much on it, and it drifts away for a throw-in on the far side near the corner flag.
There's the right idea, getting that little overload in wide areas, Adrian. That's our way in. Manning, Matt Doherty on that occasion. Jamie McGrath driving into the inside right channel. Going to look to get the ball forward a little bit earlier for me, Adrian. A lot of square passes there in the lead up to that attack. Taking a little bit of risk there for me. Have to look to get the ball back to front a little bit earlier. Got some good players to hit now, Ogbene and Adamida. Almost playing the central strikers there for the last 5-10 minutes, so got to get the ball up there earlier, get those Dutch players on the back foot. Virgil van Dijk recovering back towards his own goal. De Ligt the other side as well. Can't be always playing in front of them, got to get them torn heading towards their own goal.
Van Dijk just scoops the ball out to the right hand side. The Dutch, it goes without saying, so much quality, and without so many quality players. Memphis Depay, notable of course, he's out through injury, and also without the likes of Steven Bergwijn as well, and Jurrien Timber of Arsenal, who suffered that terrible injury so early in the season. Sven Botman is another who's missing as well, so they're short a few bodies as Ireland have a situation to deal with, because there's a Dutch player down just inside the Irish half.
Not surprised he's down. He's felt full force of a tackle from Shane Duffy there, was Reinders driving forward from central midfield. Nothing wrong with the challenge, just two bodies coming together, but one of those bodies is Shane Duffy coming towards you, and he hits you full on. You're going to feel it, so no surprise the Dutch midfielder is dead on the ground. I think he'll be okay. I hope he's okay.
Pat Fenlon, your impressions now?
Yeah, I think just the game has gone into a bit of a lull. The Dutch look like they're happy just maybe to sit on this. I'd agree with Kenny. I think now it's time just to go and turn them around. Too many square balls, short passes. Just go and feed it down the side, and particularly down Aki's side. He looks like he's struggling. So does Van Dijk. Can you get Ogbene up higher on this side of the pitch and just go and turn them around for 5 or 6 minutes? Get the crowd involved in the game. At the moment it's just a lull. It suits the Dutch. They're playing the ball around nice and easy, but they look like they might have settled for a 2-1, which is always dangerous.
Keith?
Yeah, I would be very similar to Pat. I think we need to try and up the tempo for the final 15 minutes. We're still in the contest, we're only a goal behind, but you're looking out with the bodies out there, and there looks like it to be an awful lot of tired bodies. Matt Doherty looks to be getting a little bit tired. Duffy, Alan Brown's just gone off the pitch, put in a really, really good shift, and we're looking for the lads now just to lift it for the last 10-15 minutes. Whether or not they have it in the legs, I'm not too sure.
So 33 minutes of the second half played. Free kick as play resumes, sent forward by Matthias de Ligt. Wout Weghorst will try and get on the return pass here, and Weghorst managed to get a touch to it, but it goes behind for an Irish goal kick to be taken by Gavin Bazunu. So less than 12 minutes remaining plus additional time at the Aviva Stadium as Bazunu goes short to Nathan Collins, and he strokes it across the penalty area to Shane Duffy. Smallbone facing his own goal under pressure, works it out to Doherty, and Doherty forward to Ogbene, and Ireland trying to build and probe once again. Sent forward by Jamie McGrath, looking for the run of Adam Ida, and De Ligt across from his position deals with that situation but is unable to keep the ball in play, and Ireland trying to get on with it quickly. A quickly taken throw in by Chidozie Ogbene. Adam Ida faced by Nathan Ake, rolled back to Smallbone, offloads now to Ogbene, and Ogbene with a short pass to Josh Cullen, and now Ogbene trying to weave his way through. Frankie de Jong sticking to his task. De Jong had lost his footing, regained it, and now it's with Coop Miners who sends it forward. Shane Duffy with a lovely cushion ball to pick out Jason Knight, and now it's back with Nathan Collins inside the centre circle, and now Ireland dominating the ball. They have possession with Shane Duffy out to Doherty on Ireland's right hand side, just feeds it down the line for Ogbene. Had support from Jamie McGrath. McGrath receives it under real pressure from Frankie de Jong. Small bone for Chidozie Ogbene. Nathan Ake was looking for the throw in favour of his team. Now it's Doherty, and Doherty feeds it up towards the edge of the area. Bit of a heavy touch there from Will Smallbone, but still there for Ireland. And Doherty sends it back towards halfway. Shane Duffy being closed down by Veghorst, and now Smallbone with a lovely first time pass to pick out Josh Cullen. And now Jason Knight has it on halfway, gets a return pass, and Ireland now just trying to dictate and assert their control of the match. Sent forward by Matt Doherty. Chidozie Ogbene down Ireland's right hand side, delivers across into the area, and Virgil van Dijk with another very convincing attempted clearance. The ball high into the air, and it goes out of play. It just bounces out of play, and now the crowd get behind the team once again inside the final 10 minutes at the Aviva. And the Dutch will make another change here.
For the Netherlands,
Cody Gakpo is going off, and Noah Long is coming on. So Noah Long on for the last few minutes. Long of PSV Eindhoven is on for the remainder of this game. So he's into double figures in terms of international appearances, on for his 10th appearance for the Orangi. Matt Doherty with a throw in for Ireland into the area. Adam Ida crouching, gets his head to it, but it's gathered in the end by Mark Flecken, and the Dutch just dropping off Ireland. So Ireland having plenty of the ball at the moment, Kenny, but not making the best use of it.
Yeah, it's just that final delivery. Dutch taking a step back, kind of giving up possession. Just can't overindulge now. Going to be feeding the ball into forwards' feet, getting down the sides, many crosses into the box, committing players into the box, picking up second balls. Adrian trying to play the game in the Dutch half of the pitch and just being smart really when we're in possession of the ball.
Well, the Dutch lost 3 off their opening 4 games under Ronald Koeman, but they've found a winning groove as things stand after that fine win over the Greeks on Thursday in Eindhoven. They're attempting to back it up here at the Aviva, but you can be sure that Ireland will try and have a say in all of that as they seek the equalising goal. Manning feeds it down the line for Jason Knight, and Knight, well, his attempt across is blocked away by Reinders, so a throw in for Ireland, and they get on with it quickly here. The team in green, Jason Knight, well, he was forced away from goal, but it might work out. Jamie McGrath just trying to pick out a pass, but it all breaks down for Ireland. Now Xavi Simons on the break, and there are 3 in support of Xavi Simons here. Ireland looking a little exposed here. Simons carries it forward, and eventually the challenge comes in, and it was Jamie McGrath who got back to execute a well-timed challenge, and that was an important one as well, because Xavi Simons was providing a real threat.
Oh, it certainly was. Actually made a mistake initially. Jamie McGrath gave it away cheaply at the edge of the box. Adrian ball was shifted out to Simons, just drove 60 yards up the pitch just as well. Jamie McGrath got his head down and got back there because Simons had some good options on his inside there on the edge of the box.
So it will be a corner kick for the Netherlands. And they haven't committed too many bodies forward here. There are 5 at the moment inside the area, including Virgil van Dijk, as a corner is swung in. Van Dijk went to attack it at the near post, but the referee has awarded Ireland the free kick. Matthias de Ligt returns to his defensive station. The Greeks, by the way, have got a 4th goal now, so they lead Gibraltar by 4-0. Can Ireland find an equalising goal here at the Aviva Stadium? And certainly that change in formation from the Dutch right at the start of the second half has paid dividends for Ronald Koeman. Wout Weghorst on hand to apply the finish. They went with that 4-4-2 and really took the game by the scruff of the neck, and tactically he's got it right, hasn't he, Kenny?
Yeah, you're right. Adrian has to give the Dutch manager a lot of credit. He looked very loose down that left hand side first half. Blinder particularly rectified that. Even Reinders, central midfield, has given them an added dimension in there. High energy player, he's really helped them, and they kind of took the game away from us in that opening 20 minutes of the second half. And now I'd agree with Pat, they look content to sit behind the ball, kind of a medium low press. Just asked the question of Ireland, are you good enough to kind of break us down? We're going to find out in the next 10 minutes or so.
Nathan Collins in possession for Ireland, feeds it out to Manning on Ireland's left hand side, and the goalie man takes control and feeds it forward. And Ireland trying to force an opening here, but they maybe over-forced it. Well, no free kick. Well, the Irish crowd incensed with that decision. Xavi Simons tees it up here, and an opportunity for the Dutch, and it could be an opportunity for Noah Lang, but in the end he was just caught in possession inside the area, and Ireland with a bit of a let-off. Certainly it looked like there was an unfair challenge, put it like that, but the referee happy to allow play proceed. And now Chidozie Ogbene goes bombing forward down Ireland's right hand side, and in the end his run is brought to a halt by Frankie de Jong, but it will be an Irish throw-in taken by Ogbene, sending it back now to Josh Cullen. Ireland trying to pick up the pace here. Nathan Collins has it just inside the centre circle. Manning on the outside, and now Manning on it for the Republic of Ireland as they try to build once again, and Manning moving into a central position. Adam Ida with the layoff. Could be an opportunity here for Jason Knight, and superbly defended by the Dutch as they manage to clear their lines. And now they're on the break here. It's a 3v4 situation as Xavi Simons tries to weave his way through, and a good challenge comes in, and Ireland have it back now with Jamie McGrath.
It's a great Shane Duffy the last couple of minutes, took the ball off Cooperman's foot inside the box a few minutes ago, and doing exactly the same there to Simons. Potentially a 1v1 situation, using all his experience there, Shane Duffy.
Less than 5 minutes to go. Ireland hunting for an equalising goal. Chidozie Ogbene down Ireland's right hand side just checks his run and rolls it back to Smallbone. Smallbone into a central position now for Josh Cullen. Cullen feeds it wide now. Manning on Ireland's left hand side delivers the cross, but much too close to the goalkeeper, and that's an easy take for Flecken.
I was just going to say, looking at Matt Doherty there, looked very leggy, wasn't looking to get involved. Boselli, we saw the impact he made in Paris last couple of minutes, that kind of injection of pace which he has. I think it's worth a gamble now, 10 minutes to go, get a bit of pace down that side of the pitch. The young Irish player, inexperienced at this level, I know, but needs to take a risk now, go chasing this equalising goal.
Yeah, they're going to make a double change late on here, as there's a yellow card for Wout Weghorst, and Festio Boselli, who made his debut in Paris as a sub on Thursday night, is coming on, and there's going to be a first international appearance as well for Sinclair Armstrong of Queen's Park Rangers. So Matt Doherty is one of the two players heading off, so Doherty goes off, and Boselli is on, and Jason Knight, who has certainly worked hard for Ireland tonight, and Sinclair Armstrong of Queen's Park Rangers is on for his international bow. Just over 3 minutes to go, so will all the changes made by Stephen Kenny be rewarded? They have a free kick just inside the centre circle to be taken by Manning, floats it up towards the edge of the area. It's met by the head of Shane Duffy, but he was adjudged to have been just leaning on his man, and it's a free kick to the Dutch, much to the frustration of Shane Duffy, who's protesting.
Yeah, but it's Weghorst again, isn't it? Adrian just saying that he's such a big asset when you're defending those balls into the box, just making a nuisance of himself there, really getting as close to Shane Duffy as he could. He knows that's where the danger is. Big Irish centre half.
So Virgil van Dijk will leave the free kick to his goalkeeper, and you can hear what the crowd think of that. I'm feeling perhaps that he's just wasting time. And a big moment for Sinclair Armstrong of Queen's Park Rangers, who actually made his debut for Shamrock Rovers as a 15-year-old in a cup tie against Drogheda United back in 2018. Has already scored for QPR. Fine goal against Cardiff City in the Championship this season. Dutch under pressure here. And Noah Lang forced to send it back to his goalkeeper Flecken, closed down by Adam Ida as the crowd tried to force a mistake. Manning has it for Ireland at the other end of the pitch, and he's forced under pressure from Wout Weghorst to send it back to Gavin Bazunu, and Bazunu out to the tireless Shane Duffy, and Duffy takes a touch halfway inside the Irish half and plays a square pass now for Nathan Collins, who just urges Manning to advance down Ireland's left hand side, and Manning receives the pass and picks out a pass himself to Cullen. Collins to Smallbone, had to meet it first time. McGrath with the layoff. Smallbone with a lovely cushion ball looking for Josh Cullen, appeals for handball against Denzel Dumfries on the far side, and it's going to be a free kick to the Republic of Ireland in a pretty promising position, and the Dutch will make another change, and Stephen Berghuis is coming on, and Xavi Simons is going off. So Stephen Berghuis of Ajax is on. Berghuis, who was quite a regular at the World Cup, in fact played in 4 of the 5 games for the Dutch in Qatar. He's on for the last few minutes here.
The referee's done great for us there, Adrian. Dumfries trying to kid him on into winning a free kick, throwing himself to the ground and grabbing the ball. More often than not, referees fall for that and give the free kick. Not this referee though, he read the script. He's giving us the free kick for the handball from Dumfries.
Xavi Simons slowly goes off to be replaced by Stephen Berghuis. So it's an Irish free kick in the 90th minute here. And it's Will Smallbone over it, about a metre in for the far side. Just in line with the edge of the area. Drills it in, but it's too low and flat. And it's easily dealt with by Frankie de Jong. Manning retrieves. Back with Ebosele. And Festi Ebosele takes a touch or two and drives Ireland forward. Jamie McGrath trying to link up with Chidozie Ogbene down Ireland's right hand side. In the 90th minute, it'll be interesting to see how much additional time will be added on. Manning to Smallbone inside the Dutch half. The Netherlands content to defend deep at the moment. Cullen sends it forward. Chidozie Ogbene with the return pass, and now Ebosele. Festi Ebosele will head towards the byline, and he gets a corner kick for his efforts. 5 additional minutes to be played. Tijani Wanders with the block at the expense of a corner. So Manning comes across to take it. Good work by Festi Ebosele, and Ireland have another set piece here, Kenny.
Yeah, exactly why he was brought on. Take control in those 1v1 situations, use that pace, forced his free corner kick.
So Manning to take in stoppage time. Ireland trailing by 2-1. Swings it in, looking for the big head of Shane Duffy perhaps. The ball breaks though on the far side, and Jamie McGrath chases to try and keep the ball in play, but it will be an Irish throw, and Shane Duffy is staying forward here as you'd expect. So can Ireland work the oracle? Can they get one last chance in the match? Still plenty of time to be played at the Aviva Stadium. Manning goes across to take the throw in. Got a little frustrated that Ireland didn't get on with it with a little more urgency perhaps. Festi Ebosele has it inside the centre circle. Josh Cullen in possession for Ireland. Smallbone, Ireland's left hand side. Now Manning back to Cullen. Will he pop it into the area? Takes a touch or two and then rolls it square now for Ebosele. And back to Manning on Ireland's left hand side. Now he delivers the cross. It's deep, but Flecken under no real pressure fists it away. Bennett tried to get on to the end of the loose ball, but the Dutch have possession with Noah Lang, who's back defending, and Lang with the clearance sends it down the line in the direction of Wout Weghorst, and Ebosele with a heavy touch, and that's going to be a throw in for the Dutch just inside the Irish half. It's just been announced that the Irish player of the match is Jason Knight. Can Ireland find an equalising goal at this late point? The Dutch happy to defend.
Yeah, it's probably looking unlikely, Adrian. I've got to be honest with you. A great defensive header there from Van Dijk. It looks as if Shane Duffy was going to head it. For all we kind of huffed and puffed maybe the last kind of 20 minutes of this half, Adrian, we've really struggled to create a clear-cut chance. You'd have to kind of say that.
Nathan Collins has he's knocked the ball out of play. He thought the last touch came off Noah Lang, but it will be a corner kick for the Dutch, and this is precisely where they want to be in the 3rd minute of stoppage time. The Dutch with a corner kick. Last touch came off Nathan Collins, so this corner to be taken right where the Dutch supporters are housed at the Havelock Square end of the ground, away to our left hand side, and you would imagine they'll be in no great rush to take it. They're going to go short with it. Noah Lang receives some Coop Miners, and Lang feeds it back now to Reinders, and Reinders takes a touch or two and then just works it down the line to Noah Lang, who does really well to elude and evade one challenge. Reinders now at the byline, 2 inside the area, and Reinders plays it out to the edge of the area. Ireland looking a little exposed here. Wout Weghorst inside the area, and the shot right across the face of goal, and it drifts out of play on this near side. And in fact the referee has sounded his whistle, and there's going to be a free kick for Ireland to be taken by Gavin Bazunu. Well, time is the enemy now. 3 additional minutes have been played so far off the 5 deemed necessary by the referee. Crowd trying to lift the team once again. Nathan Collins sends it back to Gavin Bazunu. Ireland have to try and get it forward now at this late point of the game. It's with Will Smallbone just inside his half, the Irish half that is. Off to Josh Cullen, and Cullen back to Smallbone, and Smallbone sends it back to Gavin Bazunu, much to the frustration of the crowd. They need to get it forward. Gavin Bazunu obliges, but it's straight through to Flecken, who will happily see it bounce out of play for a goal kick.
Had to get that ball forward earlier. Will Smallbone had the chance just to shift it on his right foot and just put the ball 40, 50 yards up the pitch. Didn't. 1 or 2 short passes back to Gavin Bazunu. Kicks the ball into the hands of Flecken. That's the frustrating thing. don't get a sense if this one clear-cut chance is going to present itself. Adrian, unfortunately, the Dutch have been reasonably solid in the defensive shape. We spoke about the substitutions that Koeman's made. It's helped them in possession and out of possession, but we just haven't found that quality, that little bit clever combination in the last third of the pitch to open them up and fashion that one clear-cut chance.
Well, maybe now, as Virgil van Dijk, forced to face his own goal and under pressure, has knocked the ball out of play, and Ireland will have a throw in just a couple of metres away from the corner flag, and Festi Obasele will take it. Sinclair Armstrong heads into the area, plenty in green awaiting the delivery here. Collins rolls it back to Ebosele. They need to get it into the mix. Ebosele under real pressure, and Frankie de Jong will try and see it out of play. Ebosele kept it alive. That fake horse back to Frankie de Jong, and de Jong steps away from Will Smallbone, but very few options available, and he tries to pick out Noah Lang. The Dutch all bottled up near the corner flag, and Noah Lang with the back heel, but knocks it straight out of play, and Ireland have a late throw into bit taken by Festi Obasele. We're in the 5th minute of stoppage time, and deep into the 5th minute, it must be said. The throwing comes from Ebosele into the area, and it's flicked on and flicked goalwards, and Flecken is there to gather, and that may well be that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the intention. Long throws, a decent enough flick on from Nathan Collins. To be fair to the Dutch, they'd squeezed a couple of yards, so it was an easy take for Flecken. Yeah, Greece have beaten Gibraltar by 5 goals to 0, and the Dutch here at the Aviva Stadium have beaten the Republic of Ireland by 2 goals to 1. It all started so well for Ireland in front early on. Adam Ida with that superb penalty, and the place was absolutely rocking, but the Dutch turning it around. Cody Gakpo equalising from the spot after 19 minutes, and that Weghorst off the bench to apply the finish for the second Dutch goal. And it's a defeat which all but ends Ireland's qualifying hopes here at the Aviva Stadium. Kenny Cunningham. Yeah, really feel for the lads again. Another huge effort off the back of the performance in Paris. Exactly the start that we would have wanted. In fact, for the majority of that kind of first half, probably the Irish manager couldn't have expected any more. I thought there was some key moments there though. 1-0, there was a great chance for Chidozie Ogbeni inside the box, and we pinched it off him again high up the pitch. Adrian didn't take advantage of that. Key moments, as is always the case. Gave up possession of the ball very cheaply for me in the lead up to the equalising Dutch goal, but you'd have to say found the substitutions from Koeman at half time when the Dutch took the game away from us. They opened 15-20 minutes to the second half. They kind of dominated, probably warranted that kind of second goal, and after that managed the game quite well, and we just weren't good enough to open them up in the last third of the pitch and fashion those 1 or 2 clear-cut chances to get ourselves back into the game. It's a big win for the Dutch. It's a real hammer blow for the Republic of Ireland. It's a blow that looks fatal, doesn't it? Full time at the Aviva Stadium. Republic of Ireland 1, Netherlands 2.
Game on 2FM.
And you're very welcome back to the programme. So defeat for the Republic of Ireland, beaten 2-1 by the Netherlands in their Euro 2024 qualifier here at the Aviva Stadium. Adam Ida had given Ireland the lead from the penalty spot after 4 minutes, cancelled out with a penalty by Cody Gakpo in the 20th minute also. Ireland probably somewhat lucky that Gavin Bazunu didn't see red for that, and then Wout Weghorst with the game's winning goal in the 56th minute. Latest score in the rugby: Wales 32, Fiji 14, 72 minutes played. There, I'm in the company of Pat Fenlon and Keith Tracy. Pat, listen, a tale of two halves. We did so much impressive in the second half. Did we fail to deliver? Sorry, we did so much impressive in the first half. Did we fail to build on it in the second half, or were we simply not allowed to build on it?
I think the key moments in the first half is when we don't take them chances that the shape of our team in the first half is really good, because we pressed that Dutch back three and they struggled for the whole of that first half to get out. We robbed the ball 2 or 3 times. We created 2 good chances and we didn't take them, and I think once they made the change, they obviously identified where they were having serious issues, and that left back or left side of centre half, they changed that, and then they controlled the game from there on, and I think they went to that flat back 4. I thought they then dominated midfield with Reinders and de Jong, just kept the ball for fun at that stage, teased us, played around us a little bit, and I thought even with 15-20 minutes to go, they take their foot off the pedal and just thought 2-1, we'll take this, just keep popping it around, and if we get an opportunity we'll take it. We didn't play enough forward balls for me. I thought we played too square, too defensive in the second half. When we did try to turn them around, even Van Dijk didn't look comfortable when we tried to play down the side. Even his clearance a couple of times, he got 1v1 with Ida, and I thought Ida was going to outpace him, but it's just so deflating, isn't it? Because the start of the game was electric, the stadium was bouncing, And in fairness to the Dutch, they managed the second half so well. They took all that out of the equation. The crowd was quiet. They passed the ball. They made it very frustrating for us, and another frustrating night.
And we do need to be honest. We do need to look at the players they brought off their bench relative to what Stephen Kenny had at his disposal. But there's a couple of frustrations. There wasn't much urgency around trying to get the ball into the box in the latter stages when, listen, I know it's old school, but just get it in the mixer and try and create a chance against a defence that showed themselves in disarray from time to time. The other issue as well is we've a Dutch goalkeeper tonight who looked really flaky in patches. Both teams had the exact same number of shots at goal. We only had one on target. Yeah,
it comes down to the quality in the final third. But I just don't. The second half in particular, Damon, really, they just stopped putting the ball into the box. We're coming into in injury time. There's 2 minutes played over in injury time. I think get the ball forward, put them under pressure. When we did it in the first half, Adam Meade's penalty, that just comes from a set piece, a corner into the box. Once or twice we put balls into the box and they looked really shaky, the Dutch. Then you're coming in, look, the second half they started really well. Weghorst and Reinders come on, they changed their formation. The game totally changed. They're dominant, they're keeping the ball, they get the goal, they make it 2-1. But then we stop putting the ball into the box. The Dutch have the ball all the time, and when we win it, look, it's the most natural thing in the world. When you win the ball back after chasing shadows for a while, the last thing you want to do is lose it. But we have to risk the ball going forward. We have to. And when we got Ebeselli in particular, he's getting the ball and you're thinking, go and put the ball into the box now. He's standing people up, he's passing backwards, and we just lacked a bit of urgency. But I have to say, Damien, I think we were out on our feet. The French game on Thursday night,
fitness looked a massive issue, didn't it? And again, you look at the Dutch situation, they could make changes for tonight. They could spring players off early in their game during the week. The surprising one for me maybe was Matt Doherty, who didn't play on Friday, but maybe that's a sign of how much game time he's had this year.
He hasn't played a lot of football, but Keith is right, we looked very leggy. I think the whole second half performance just was flat. I think their changes at half time, particularly the one in midfield, gave them a bit more urgency, a bit more tempo in there. He kept the ball really well, Reinders with Young, like I say, but it just had that feel about it in the second half. And in fairness to them, that's clever from them. They know how to play the game. They've been here before. They managed the game really well.
And clearly felt there wasn't anything we could throw at them to really disrupt them, despite how disjointed they appeared at the back at times.
Yeah, and even if you take the two games, even the French game here, they did the same. They sort of managed the game, went 1-0 up, and but it just lacked energy in the second half. And I think to play these two teams, within the space of 3 days is a big ask for us when we don't have a huge panel to pick from. It's nearly the same team going out again, where they've got so many quality players who are able to spring from the bench or even change the team at the start, which they did. So it's very disappointing, because the first half and the first part of the first half was really good.
We look at the table now. France, listen, are home and hosed in reality, 15 points from 5 games. The Dutch have now turned their group around, 9 points from 4. The other teams have all played 5. Greece level with the Dutch on 9 points. Ireland now 4th in the table on 3 points. Listen, we can talk about playing the second best team in the world in the rankings on Friday or Thursday. We can talk about playing the 7th best team in the world tonight, but ultimately we're third seeds in this group. We're sitting in 4th. It now makes the Greece game it does. It makes that Greece game here crucially important.
It does. And look, the Greece aren't bad. They've gone and hammered Gibraltar tonight, and Gibraltar, when they came to Dublin, I know we put them to the sword, we beat them 3-0, but I think it was in around the 55th, 60th minute when we had a free kick, and it's a lucky bounce, and Mikey Johnson puts it in the back of the net and we go and win 3-0. But we weren't comfortable for large periods in that game against Gibraltar. And look, I don't want to put another dampener on this, but if Greece can turn us over, Gibraltar will be looking up at us thinking, can we catch the Irish? And we're looking up thinking, can we catch the Greeks? And look, I think I called this earlier, if we were to finish third in this group, I think that would be about par for us. If we finish fourth,
and that's where we are in our seedings. Yeah. So
look, people kept kicking it down the road, saying hopefully we can beat Gibraltar twice, beat Greece twice, and maybe we'll nick something off the bigger two, the Dutch and the French. I think we're a million miles of taking anything off the Dutch and the French. But look, we played well against the French. We played well tonight against the Dutch. I can stomach that. It's the Greece performance that's really grating on me.
Stay with us, lads. We're going to hear from man of the match Jason Knight in just a moment, but before we do that, quick break to take. And you're very welcome back to a near empty Aviva Stadium. Pat Fenlon, Keith Tracy are alongside me. We're not going to have an opportunity to hear from Stephen Kenny tonight, but we might chat about what we might expect to hear from him. But before we depart, let's hear from tonight's man of the match, Jason Knight with Tony O'Donoghue.
We played really well for large parts of the game, but ultimately we're here to get results, and we didn't, so we're disappointed massively.
The perfect start, perhaps. I mean, the pressure that you put on, the pressure, the high press, leading to that early chance and the penalty?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what we can do, especially here with the crowd behind us. It's a hard place to come, like I said before. I think we definitely had chances. We scored that second that killer goal, but it wasn't to be. Like you say, a good performance, but really disappointed about the result.
It really means qualification chances are gone now. I mean, you saw the crowd was still behind you, but you wanted to win this for your manager as well, didn't you?
Absolutely. The manager, the staff have been great. I can only speak for my personal self. He's brought me through, so I owe him a lot. The lads are still fully behind them as well, so I think you can see that in the performance. We just didn't get the result tonight. Like you say, qualification is going to be hard now. We need to depend on other results, but there's always a slimmer of a chance, I suppose.
Yeah, but at some stage you got to turn those good performances into victories. It's a results business, as you say yourself.
Absolutely, that's what we're here to do, is get results. Obviously, massive crowd. We want to get results for them, and we've just come out the wrong side again of a 1-goal advantage to Holland. So no, just can't. It's fresh now, so it's disappointing. But we'll go over and we'll try and regroup again for the next camp.
That's Jason Knight with Tony. That's not an unreasonable assessment, Pat.
No, absolutely. I think he's fairly honest. He worked tremendously hard tonight and in the previous game as well. He gave us all. Like you said, I think the players gave their all in both games. We came up, particularly in the French game, against real quality. Tonight we've seen the difference in the gap in the teams as well. And as Keith says, it's not tonight's performance or the game in Paris is not the real complaint. The complaint is you go back to Greece, you go back to the other qualifiers, Armenia away, Luxembourg at home. The games you have to win to stay in the group, and then if you pick up anything above the bigger nations, well then great, then it gives you a chance of maybe nicking a second place. But we're continuously doing this, losing games where we should be winning, or even drawing them. If you go to Greece and draw, it's not the end of the world. It was a poor performance, and that's where the criticism is coming. The performance tonight was decent, and we worked ever so hard in Paris as well.
Stephen Kenny can talk about not being beaten by more than a goal by a top team in the world and how competitive we were in patches, but it's going to increase the scrutiny on him, and it's going to increase the talk about the inevitability that it would seem at this stage that he'll get this campaign, if even, and there is a fear that things will just continue to peter out.
Yeah, it feels like a pretty low bar when the manager's coming out and saying I've only ever lost by 1 goal to one of the bigger nations. It seems. And again, I don't want to be too down because we played France, we played Holland, two
and
very
we have
good
to be
teams.
realistic.
We are being realistic, but if we played like this against Greece, we wouldn't be in this position. The first 10 minutes against Greece, after we had the training camp,
is that psychological?
It could be psychological, Damien, but we conceded a penalty against Greece in the first 10 minutes. We conceded 8 corners. We were under the cosh after being together for 10 days. The lads should have an understanding. It should be set in stone how we're going to play. We can't start like that the second half of games. We can't start like that the first 10 minutes of the second half. Here, Weghorst puts the ball into the back of the net. These are red zones within the game. You have to get to these checkpoints to be able to grow into a game, and against the bigger nations we're competing well. But if you look at it from a Dutch point of view, Bazunu should have been sent off. Xavi Simons had one taken off. He's told that he would have scored. Mallon had 2 very good saves from Bazunu. So from an Irish point of view, we competed well. But did we ever really put them under the cosh? Did Flecken make any good saves? Not really.
Yeah. Okay, the green shoots don't outweigh the negative results, Pat, do they? Briefly.
No, listen, at the end of the day, it's about winning football matches. That's what it's about. At this level, we want to qualify for a tournament. We're crying out to go to a tournament. We got used to it, and now we haven't had it for a while, so it's all about winning football matches at international level.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your company over the course of the evening. Pat Fenlon, Keith Tracy and Kenny Cunningham, who was alongside Adrian Eames for commentary earlier. 32-26, Wales lead Fiji. 78 minutes played there. Nervous times in the end for our Welsh friends. Vincent Norman, the winner of the Horizon Irish Open, he finished 14 under par. Shane Lowry, best of the Irish, back in a tie for third place. That just about brings to a conclusion the programme this evening. Security are continuing to chase lads off the pitch here. UEFA are not going to be happy with this, with the amount of lads who've got on for selfies with the Dutch team and now are invading their warm down. Anyway, listen, enough of that. Thank you to Tommy O'Sullivan and Patrick Carney, who are on sound this evening. All of the team here. John Farrell produced. From Damien O'Mara and all of us here as we bid farewell and let the scene set for Jenny Green. Thanks for your time. Good night.